it going, guys? I am scrambling here. How's everybody? Let's do this, shall we? I ain't ready. I will say that. Oh, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Fighting Fantasy. Here we go. We're doing... Is everything set up? I hope everything's set up. I don't know. We are doing another Fighting Fantasy, guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted here trying to sort things out. We've got Mage Hunter, which I haven't checked to see if you want to, because this is a late release one, guys. How is everybody? Oh, Ballistic, good morning. Thought you sounded sick. Oh my god, thought I sounded sick, mate. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just lastminute.com things, that's all. It'll all make sense one day. So, yeah, Mage Hunter. What spine number is this? 57. This is like third from the rear, as it were. If you wanted to go buy it now, there are listings on eBay for 400 quid. Bloody hell. Like, there's only 2 listings on eBay for this book. One is 291. The other one's a bid for 414 or best offer. Wow. It's a pricey book, guys. This was written by Paul Mason and illustrations by Russ Nicholson, with the cover illustration by Ian Miller. And the cover illustration looks pretty cool, like dragons, or yeah, like dragons and a dude getting thrown into the mouth of one. Looks pretty iconic, pretty cool. The inner illustrations, let's go find one. I mean, yeah, pretty cool. That's pretty stellar. I can't remember a sausage about this book at all. Obviously, I've done like a spotlight view on it, but that was a long time ago. You're a mage hunter tracking down evildoers and bringing them to justice. Your trusty flintlock pistol. You've got a gun. You're Van Helsing. And your fine steel broadsword have seen many fights. And you have the knowledge, skill, and equipment to capture the craftiest sorcerer. But disaster strikes. Magic drags you far from your familiar world to a land of treasures, traps, and treachery. Wow. Well, so that's that. We're going to be doing that, guys. Don't you worry about that. But we've also got something else going on. And I'm just trying to find it. There it is. I need to actually add something to the description box of this live stream, which I completely missed. Or did I? Oh, no. Well, I didn't miss it, but I'll add something else. So just one sec. This is so unprofessional, man. Right, so if anybody wasn't watching last time, and you might have to refresh your browser in order to see what I've just put in the description box of the stream. But for anybody who doesn't know, and I'll show you what I'm looking at now, if I can find I don't think I've actually got. Yeah, I do. Here we go. But it's not at the top, so you can't see it. Here we go. So for anybody here, that's what I'm looking at, who wasn't here last week, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, when we were talking about this, Legion of the Necromancer, a classic fighting fantasy style game book. And it's being designed by 2 developers, both called James. And it's going to be released this December. and so you can go and sort of join the Kickstarter of it and get like, you know, exclusive first release stuff, you know, and obviously you get the book as well. But this is basically a new adventure book in the style of Fighting Fantasy. So in the absence of Ian and Steve doing anything, this, you know, is what we have. Like a malevolent necromancer has set up residence in the land of Aelrathia. I hope I've said that right, guys. Sorry if I haven't. And his evil is spreading across your homeland, while destructive forces turn friend against friend, and macabre beasts roam the land. His solitary goal is to raise a vast army of the dead and to enslave the land once and for all. Now, this honestly sounds like a very cool book. Like, I don't know what everybody's thoughts are on what I've just read of the story, but like there's examples of the artwork here. It honestly looks very intriguing, and I don't know actually if like how many entries are in this book. Is it the classic 400 or is this a longer one? And anyway, so there's all that. Let me bring you back in now. So there we go. So that's basically what we've got. It ain't all what we've got though, guys. I've got a little surprise for you, which I'm kind of rushing to get. Well, not rushing, but trying to get through now. Rhymester, how's it going? Spellsinger, good morning. You missed the Knights of Doom? Look forward to a 4-hour romp. Mate, we lasted quite a long time in that one. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so let me just... I'm gonna be silent for a second, and you'll understand why in a second. So, and so there's that, and oh no, that didn't work. Hang on. This is what happens. And then link. Oh, you have to do it in there. So who did I call? Yeah. It should automatically, when I click that, allow me to... Right, so that's who I'm voice connected with. But if I do that, it just disconnects me from the other one. Man, I think they've changed it. How you added... Right, hang on. This is not going the way I wanted, guys. This is what I mean about, you know, trying to get everything set up. It's been a while since I've done a 3-way. Do you know what? I think we're gonna, guys, if you're watching, just join me in that channel, and then I'll block it off once you've joined in. I've had 3-way conversations before, and you just literally click plus and it's not a problem.
Morning, Adam.
Morning. Right, so only I can hear you at the moment. So as soon as James joins, we'll start a nice conversation with the developers of the Necromancer book.
Thank you.
And then as soon as James joins, I'll private this channel so nobody else, you know, jumps in.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, basically we're going to sit down and have a chat with the developers of the book, and find out their thoughts on everything, and what's happening, and all the juicy details. So hang on. Oh, caps is on. Whoops. Rip. Anyway, guys, so yeah, and then we'll start off with the Mage Hunter, you know. So if there's any questions, guys, you want to ask, you know, the developers here, then go for it. Start lining them up. Where is he? So as soon as like, just waiting on one of the developers now. As soon as he comes in, we'll start. But how is every?
If James is on his way, I'm happy we can kick off. And if I've got James on WhatsApp, so if he messages how to get in, I can ping him a note. But you and I can kick off.
Yeah. If we start, and I private the channel, he won't be able to join in after that.
I see.
And that's what I want to do, is I want to private this so that we don't get yeah. I guess I should have said.
He's just looking for the channel that we were just in a minute ago. So.
So how is everybody doing today? Like, what you guys got planned for the rest of your day, and you know. There we
There he
go.
is.
Right.
Oh, that's what happens when you trust a designer to use technology.
I know you need a writer, James.
It's what
Thankfully, I've got one. Apologies for that.
it's what happens when the technology changes as well.
Yeah.
Right. I hope this doesn't kick you guys out. Oh, do you know what? Oh. If I yeah, I just realised if I change the permissions, it'll probably kick you both out. So I'll just leave it, and we'll have to deal with it, basically. Sorry about that. Right. Okay. So first off, let me bring you guys in to the rest of the chat, because nobody can hear you at the moment. So I'll bring you in and hope I don't get an echo, but it should be okay. Right. And then obviously we want to see more than just so anyway, I'm joined here by the developers of the book that's up and coming, The Necromancer, and I've got here James Gill and James Isaacs with me now. So how you doing, guys?
Very well, Adam.
Thanks for having us.
No worries, no worries. Now, the pictures that I sourced for you guys, I hope. First off, I hope they're correct. I just got them off Facebook, like. So, and apologies if you're like, mate, that's the worst picture of me. I'm sorry.
No, I'm happy with that. I mean, it's 20 years old, that photo, but yeah, that's probably why I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
On mine, I'm the one on the left.
Yeah. So, so guys, talk about your up and coming. You know, like, what is it? What's going on? How did this all start?
Okay. Well, if you want a bit of an origin story,
Yeah.
James and I have known each other since 2005. We both worked at music magazine Metal Hammer, and James was the designer of the magazine, and I was a writer. We got on really well, and since leaving, again, sort of 20 years ago, James and I have stayed in touch. And about December of last year, James and I were having a chat, and I was like, dude, did you ever I mean, obviously you had Fighting Fantasy, because James and I obviously known each other for sort of 30 years or so now, and or at least 20, sorry. So James and I went on the journey of each other's backstories. Like we both bonded over the D-Rock album, which was out on White Dwarf Records and various other things. And December last year, I went, dude, did you have fighting fantasy novels like from back in the day? And James was like, did I? And like had the box set that his brother had just given him and brought that out. And I was like, because I managed to find out my old Citadel of Chaos, and it's just awesome. Oh my god, idea. You're an illustrator, I'm a writer, we should totally do this. And James said, yeah. And of course, it's amazing for me because as you can see from James's artwork, he's just a sickening talent. So, we just kind of came up with the story. Actually, the central idea is James's. And so last Christmas, I just sort of sat down and wrote it. And James was inputting with ideas and various bits and pieces. And so we thought, well, let's just do a Kickstarter of this. And that's sort of where we've got up to now. We got the book, got a couple of dummy copies, and James has done all the artwork. And now we're ready to take it to people who might want to buy a copy, whether that's like a paperback, or we're going to do a cool A5, or not A5, but a large folio edition with sort of fabric finish and gold foil emboss and so on. Nice. And then we are sitting here talking to you. So that is 25 years in about 3.5 minutes. James, wow. Did I get everything right in there?
I think you got everything right, apart from you kind of downplayed your own talent. But hey, that's what you do normally. But no, you got it pretty much on the head in terms of you just kind of bonded over very nerdy things. And obviously, working for a heavy metal magazine, the nerd currency is kind of valued quite highly. So we just had a great time talking about that stuff, talking about Space Marines and all that kind of stuff. And then we just had the opportunity to do this, and the idea of me being able to revert back to 12-year-old James and just draw orcs all day, as a 48-year-old man, just sparked joy in me. So we just thought, yeah, why not? Let's just do it. And we've just had so much fun doing it. And we said to ourselves, no pressure. We want to make it as good as we can. I really love Gil's writing. He really likes my pictures. So as long as we're happy, with what we've created, we're pretty sure everyone will be too. Because, like I said, we've been fans of these books for decades, and I think if we can make ourselves pleased with it, hopefully you guys will feel the same. So yeah, we're pleased as punch to be here in this situation.
I think, Adam, as well, I'd add to that as well that I know that Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson are doing their games, and I know there's in the last sort of 10 years or so been new fighting fantasy game books, but under Scholastic as the publisher, they're geared toward a little more towards the younger audience. And what I loved about those originals is I never felt they talked down to me. And the origin story of those fighting fantasy novels about how they took them to Penguin said, well, they're for kids, we're not going to publish them. Yeah. And so they were published under Puffin, even though actually they weren't for kids. It's just that they're in all ages. But I never felt talked down to when I was sort of 10 years old. I never felt like they were I always felt they were a bit older than me, which is of course what we all want, especially when you're a kid. And that's what we kind of wanted to bring back, was a little more of that kind of crossover, slightly more adult tone. And James has certainly brought that with the images. I've tried to bring that with the writing. I'm a big fan of horror and gothic horror and H.P. Lovecraft and Stephen King, and so hopefully there's that sort of slightly more it's a little more intense tonally than some of the fighting fantasies at the moment. That's just what we wanted to do. We just wanted to channel how it felt to us when we were 10, right? Exploring Elancia and Titan and what have you. Yeah.
Well, honestly, I can't speak for everybody in the chat here, but I can't wait for it to launch out. And it's been 25 years in the making. So yeah.
It's funny, yeah. Yeah, no pressure. They say revolutions brew for 20 years and then happen in a day, and that kind of is what's happened with us. James, you and I have known each other, and only after 20 years did it occur to me to go, dude, we should make a book together.
It's always that way, isn't it? The most obvious thing is right in front of you, and you never really see it until the light bulb goes on. And you go, oh, hang on a sec, what are we doing?
That's it, and it's kind of given birth to so many more ideas as well, because I tend to rush things, and I'm good at starting things, but I'm not an attention to detail person. Yeah. And so we kind of ran at this, and we've got a few issues, and we've solved those things with the gameplay and a few language and errors and what have you. But already James and I are talking about the next book and the next book. So it's just become a complete kind of wellspring of ideas. for future ones to kind of improve them. And I mean, James always talks about this, is putting our own stamp on it, because while this first one in particular is homage to the originals, and hopefully if you play this game it'll feel like a cross between Citadel of Chaos and Forest of Doom, that the next one will have a bit more of our own twist on it.
Right. Okay. So there's more coming. This isn't just the only one that you guys are doing. You've got a whole string of them, or?
Absolutely. So
yeah?
I think, as James said, it's if people enjoy this and want to buy copies, and whether it's PDFs, paperbacks, folio editions, or limited edition artwork stuff that James is working on, or it's just that James and I do it because we really enjoy it. I think it's been so enjoyable to do. I'll speak for myself. James may say different, but it's been so enjoyable to do. There's just no way we would stop here. I mean, James, what do you think?
Yeah, I think from my point of view as a designer, the one thing I loved about the originals, weirdly, was the spines. That bright green spine.
Yeah.
When you have them on yourself, I was fascinated by the numbering. I'd look at the books I've got and I'd be like obsessed with the books I didn't have, because I wanted to get that kind of, that full stream of numbers. So when we designed the book and I did the cover, when I designed the spine, we've got bright colors, we've got a big number at the top saying this is book number 1. And as soon as I typed in that number 1, I instantly thought about number 2. Because, if you put 1 on something, you immediately want to think what's next. And we always said that we would do 3 books to start with, as even if the first one crashed and burned, it doesn't matter, because we're always going to do 3 no matter what. So having that idea that this wasn't just a one-off project, this was something we're trying to build as a big series of books, I think helps us. And I think it helps us kind of, really put our stamp on it and plan for the future. Like Gil's he's so energetic with the writing. He'd already finished book 2 before we'd finished book 1. He's like, oh, I can write a book, in a couple of weeks. It's like, dude, it takes me like 1 day to do 1 picture, and I've got to do like 30 or 40 per book. So it's like, it's that kind of offset of like, thank God we're planning for the future, because I'm going to need a long time to do book 2. But already thinking about it, already planning the pictures, the styles. We're already talking about, what kind of monsters, what kind of races of people, combat, other kind of aspects we can bring to it that the original books don't do. And I think that's having a series of books allows you to think like that. And I think that's why we definitely, this is just the first of many, we hope.
Oh, brilliant.
So Adam, is it worth me giving you a bit of a potted for you and listeners, a bit of a sort of a potted story? So what is the quest that you will go on if you buy a copy of Legion of the Necromancer? Is that worth doing?
Yeah, I mean, don't give away everything, leave some mystery, but yeah, definitely, like, let's what's in store for people who get the book.
So the premise is, and it was James's idea, is that there is, we have a land like Alancia, and ours is, as you pronounced it correctly there, Elrathia. I sort of drew on a lot of the sort of old sort of Saxon and Old English and sort of Saxon language stuff as a kind of lore and background. But essentially there is an evil necromancer who is determined to raise an army of the undead. Now, necromancy is a thing that we all know and understand, but it's very it's difficult to do at scale, en masse. You could raise one person from the dead, so that's why it's not too dangerous. But this guy has figured out a way of doing it for thousands, tens of thousands, raising tens of thousands of corpses from the dead, and he's going to turn it into an army. But he just needs to collect a few prize tools along the way, so we need to stop him. So your quest in the book is to find those items and to stop him from creating that army of the undead. Now, there's no spoilers in there. And not least because I think all the best things about the original Fighting Fantasies are the interactions, the illustrations, the cool codes. In particular, I was always a fan of codes more than combat. So hopefully that hasn't spoiled anything. And even seeing James's illustrations, I think, will whet the appetite rather than spoil it. So that's kind of the premise.
Cool. Honestly, I mean, that sounds great. That does. Like, and is it like, you again, I don't want to spoil anything, but is it like you have a magic abilities? You're like a sorcerer or like a warrior type of figure, like sorcery allowed you to choose kind of one or the other. What kind of play style are we talking in this one?
It's go on, James.
I was going to say, I think because this one we wanted to keep it very, we wanted the story and the kind of the idea of the quest being front and center. So we kept it as a kind of assassin, kind of warrior character. We didn't want to bring too many kind of moving parts to our first book, like so adding things like you have magical powers and stuff like that. Something we'll bring in, I think, to other books. But for this one, we want to keep it very, not simple, but very kind of focused on the story itself. So yeah, you're a warrior stroke assassin. Have I got that right, Gil?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I was looking for the word because he's an assassin, he's a former soldier, but a sort of also a bit of a spy. So it's oddly a sort of James Bond in sandals almost, as a kind of as a kind of character.
Sandals.
You know what I mean? Sort of pixie boots. But so that's the core. And as James said, really the focus was we wanted to walk before we can run. And I think, I'm interested in your opinion and the opinion of others. Is that I actually a lot of the time I always skipped the combat. I just assumed that I won because I was really interested. I loved the codes and the gathering of intel. That was the bit that I loved. So there's a bit more of that in this book than there are complex sort of magic systems or fighting systems.
Right.
But that said, going into the next book, now that we kind of figured out how to do it, we can build on that. So I think, like the original books, Warlock of Firetop Mountain, Citadel of Chaos, Forest of Doom, they were fairly straightforward. Although Forest of Doom, you had to find 2 items and gather them, the dwarf's hammer. And then by the time you've got to Scorpion Swamp, you've got all the various, you can choose your different missions. House of Hell has the whole like fear aspect of if you get too many fear points, you die. So they became more and more complex. Now I realize we're building on the shoulders of giants, but we still need to figure out how we do it, and also how we not mimic what they've done, but do our own thing.
Yeah.
Again, the focus is hopefully on a really cool story that's got a kind of slightly more intense, horror-y kind of feel, that you won't get bored. Again, as I say, there's code and intelligence and gathering equipment. I did love gathering equipment, and then being able to deploy it later on was always super cool. So that's kind of been our focus, but certainly ongoing. The future books will have slightly more complicated things with... James, you and I were talking about Magic System recently for the 3rd or 4th book, and something around sort of gathering ammo for the 2nd one. So it's this sort of, you need to make sure you have enough bullets to do whatever. But again, TBC, but certainly building on basics.
And so, like, for anybody who's interested, like I said, in the description box below, there is a link to go and support and join and, anticipate this, like, Christmas, December, isn't it? The release of this book. But apart from, and there's obviously links to a website where you can, and a YouTube channel where you can learn more about it. But apart from anything that's on the website, the Kickstarter, like, what like personally drew you to Fighting Fantasy to want to then go on to make this?
James, do you want to tackle that first?
Yeah, go on. I mean, for me, obviously, it was the illustrations. Like, I would, as a kid, like Gil said before, like, I think when you're a young kid doing these books, sometimes if you die in a fight, you just carry on. You just wanted to, you didn't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
So
you want to explore the story,
Exactly. So sometimes you would just plow on, sometimes you do it properly. But for me, I wanted to do it. I wanted to plow on because I wanted to see all the illustrations, and I used to try and copy them, try and trace them. I had my favorite illustrators. Some of the books scared the crap out of me, like House of Hell. Some of those illustrations were terrifying. They were trying to bring a little bit of that into it, but yeah, it was just for me, those pictures, like on my bedroom wall, I would trace those and have some like Lord of the Rings posters, and so for me, I was just enthralled by the imagery. I think we spoke previously or on our YouTube trailer about my love of. There's a guy called Russ Nicholson who did a lot of the original books, who was a bit of a legendary illustrator, and him and Bob Harvey together, I think for me, were just like up there with some of the best illustrators of the time, just doing fantasy, and me, that's why I got into it. It was it was imagery first, and then I got to love the story later. I think it was probably maybe the other way around for Gil, but for me, yeah, those illustrations just created a whole new world in me. It was great.
think when you're 10 years old, and I think maybe it was I might have been 9, I'm not sure, but when you're 9, you've got no money, no power, you make no decisions for yourself really. And so fighting fantasy gives you agency. So you get to make decisions, and they are, figuratively life and death decisions. And so I really liked, it felt very empowering to do that. And the second thing that possibly was my real love was I loved mapping. So I had a pal whose mum was a published novelist when I was 10, and she worked at was it Random House, or was published by Random House or someone, or Penguin, and so she got loads of these books. So for my pocket money, I'd get like one, be able to get one book every 3 months. Whereas, and my old pal was called James as well, weirdly. He would have like loads of them, and so he would. My dad was a builder, so he had blueprints at home, and you flip the blueprints over, and you got these giant A1 bits of paper, and so I'd be able to map. And I just loved mapping because it meant that the book wasn't just you read it once. It wasn't even you read it twice or 3 times, but you had to get every single one of your 400 entries onto that giant piece of paper. And he would do one and I would do one. And then you would trade the book and the giant piece of paper with it to map through. Here's where you go, here's where you don't go. So I loved the mapping aspect of it. And so when James and I were working on this one, I think I did Forest of Doom, maybe Caverns of the Snow Witch, just to kind of see the shape of the story, right? To see what it looks like on a map, and then to map our own one that we'd done to make sure that it kind of looked similar. Like, are they all straight lines, or is it too interwoven, or are they kind of like open world, where they're kind of lots of sprouting things that come back together and sprouting things and come back together? And I found that structure, because I also write a bit of just novel fiction, sci-fi fiction for fun, and I'm obsessed with kind of the devices and the structures of storytelling and stories. And so telling a story that you have to design as the reader, but that I have to facilitate, and I have to facilitate all of those decisions and decision trees. I mean, it's just, you can tell I love it because I'm talking at 8,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
That really is, that's really the bit that's very cool for me, is the mapping that just got me so excited. And then so when talking to James about it, it's like, oh my God, I get to design that and see if it works. Because, James's illustrations, you can see immediately that they're amazing. Whereas for the story, you've got to read the whole thing and go, oh, it just kind of doesn't work, or it is impossible to complete, or, certain aspects don't hang together. You asked me to get this particular key, but it was impossible to find. Or so all those aspects of gameplay was a real challenge, because a novel, you can write a novel and you can complete a novel, whether it's any good or not is something else. But with a book like this, if you can't complete it, then the whole thing falls down. But anyway, so really it was mapping and structure that I just love, and love those originals. That
I'm gonna drop a link into the oh, it's too long. Rip. Never mind. Sorry.
Adam, let me ask you. Adam, can I ask you, because you've written 7 books, how do you approach narrative and story and plot and structure? How do you tackle that? Are you someone who plans everything out sort of blow by blow and then you write your structure, or are you more like Stephen King, where you just think of a cool scenario and off you go and see what happens?
So yeah, I plan it out. It's like a 3-stage process to me, and I'm just trying to look to see if my book is here, but I think it's buried under there. So basically, it's a 3-stage process for me. The first stage, after coming up like with the initial idea of a story or whatever, is mapping it out. So I map out every location, room, scenario that's going to appear before I've even written it. So I know where the beats are, and then like once I've done that, I just start writing. I don't assign any paragraphs to anything. I just go, right, so I'm going into this room, I need to write a scene for this room. And then I go, so obviously there's a corridor connecting or whatever, so I need to write that. And I start going through my map and filling in all of everything. And then just assigning random paragraph numbers. I've got like a list of every paragraph number on a page, and I just delete, put that in, paste, I've got like a template that I've made myself, so I can just take what I'm writing and then put it in a paragraph section. And so, yeah, the planning of these types of books is crucial. Like, I don't think these types of books you can just jazz it on the fly, because for it to make sense, be coherent and enjoyable, it has to all be like effectively structured, but not feel like that. Like, feel free, and there's many choices, and it's an open world. And I do have, like I say, I got like a book pretty much similar to this giant journal, which is what I keep all the adventure sheets that we've been playing on this channel. It's a book like this, and it's basically got all the maps that I've done for all my books. It's the creation book basically that I go by. So like, that's how I do. I don't know if that's anything similar to what you guys do, or but that's how I do it.
I just want to make our next book look like that book, like that kind of leather bound. It looks amazing.
Honestly, yeah, never ending story, isn't it? It's the that logo from the Never Ending Story embossed, really nice.
Cool.
Leather, smells gorgeous, and then the page is just like parchment. They're all rough, and they're all kind of actually threaded in to the each other, like the way it's put together. It's
that's it. You've inspired us. Like the next luxury is going to look.
Yeah,
like that.
this is I was going to say limited edition of the next book. That's exactly it. Yeah.
I'd say, actually, Adam, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, which is kind of, I guess, always the way with something creative. And I know a bit about the way that James works, but of course, it needs to be methodical, often scientific, which doesn't feel very fantastical and adventurous, but ultimately, it's the bit inside the car that you don't see because it's clad in a beautiful sort of shape.
Yeah.
And that's the bit. So I use Google Slides, PowerPoint, to map out all the nodes, all the interactions, and then all of the elements that you need. If I need you to find a key, I've got to go and bury that key somewhere in an earlier bit of the story. And so using a kind of using PowerPoint to have arrows pointing over here and then sudden deaths and how it all ties together, so that I can check, because I have a terrible memory. And so when I'm writing up at, in the final quarter, I think, oh, where did they discover, this magical spell? Where's the spell hidden? Or haven't got the spell? Is it the right one? Is it the right amount of money? Is it this? Can they do it? So having that kind of master map that I can check in on, because work gets in the way, and it might not be 2 weeks before you come back to writing something. And so having your kind of master plan, and particularly in a flexible way like PowerPoint or slides, where you can move elements around, because you get towards the end and you're, oh god, I've still got 40 paragraphs to think of, and so you end up sort of slotting in some whole new idea, and so needing to move things around in the map, and it looks kind of quite dry and methodical, but hopefully when you're reading it, it comes out as just a super cool adventure.
It sounds like exactly the same way. You do yours on the computer digitally, but I do mine like written hand. But it sounds the same kind of process.
I think, and that's it. Ultimately, we're all trying to do the same things, and so whether it's writing it down or
using technology,
yeah, absolutely.
The mechanic is the same. That's the question Rhymester was interested in, with the mapping and the process of making these books. Also, Spellsinger was asking, are you fans of more linear path Ian or more open world Steve?
Oh, that's insider baseball. I have to say,
it's a good one.
I don't know that I would be able to answer that question. I think I always found the open worlds a little more challenging for obvious reasons. And maybe as someone who's become a lover of just sort of fiction, fantasy fiction, sci-fi fiction, I quite like the linear. Like Scorpion Swamp is not my favourite, and I know that's an open world one. James, how about you?
Do you know what? I never, as an art guy, I don't tend to differentiate. Like, I don't look at the stories in those kind of ways. Kind of just get involved and just kind of lose myself in it. And I think it's harder for people like you, Gil, to kind of enjoy the books in different ways, don't we? And we value things differently. I think I prefer an open world kind of vibe, because it feels more, like you said earlier, when if it's an empowering thing to do these books, getting to make these big decisions. I think big decisions on a big scale, an open world kind of book tends to feel more more valuable. You feel like more in control. That there's bigger things at stake than just you. So it's yeah, it's a hard thing to answer, but for me that's it. And I think it also allows for think differently about the artwork.
Can I cheat and say I prefer both? Like, I love the aspects of the open world, but then I love the way Ian writes his stories. They're almost like, I know exactly what I got to do. There's not over-complicated mechanics to, stats that I have to keep track of as well. It's like, the baddies at the end, level boss, get the prize, rescue the princess or whatever, and it's like, they're easy to read, but they're very challenging as well. Whereas Steve, it's like, all bets are off, man. Anything can happen. It's open world, and it's a vast, expansive feel to the book. But I actually love both. Is that allowed?
I think that's, yeah, absolutely. And I think the analogy, because I'll always use music as the analogy, is do you like ballads or dance floor hits? And the answer is, well, I want both on an album.
Yeah.
And
aspects of everything.
If you look at, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Citadel of Chaos, Firetop Mountain are both pretty linear. And then you get something more like House of Hell that's more sort of open world. I enjoy both. I don't want all of one type of thing. Variety is the spice of life. And certainly I think, if you agree, James, this first one, Legion of the Necromancer, is a little more linear. But the second one, as you and I have discussed, I tried to make it more open world and create sort of 4 levels in which you can go almost anywhere before progressing to the next level, so you can really go in and out of rooms and to and fro, rather than being directed down a fairly singular or 2 different straight lines.
Yeah, I think helped me as well, like when I was doing the artwork for the book, that you almost like wrote the story in pods of like say you're in a forest, but the forest is divided into lots of different kind of areas of the forest, and turn a corner, or you'd be in the castle, you'd open a door, and as most things happen in these kind of books, you're surprised with something. Now I feel that kind of that led to me, like, I read your story and then did the art. Obviously, I couldn't do it the other way around, and I think those kind of situations really helped me. So, like, instead of more direct approach, is that what you're saying? Kind of, I knew exactly what I wanted to draw as soon as I read what you wrote. It immediately kind of was very evocative in my brain. So, like, nothing was too, it wasn't, there weren't too many paths to go down in my head, because I knew exactly what each situation required, I think. And whether I did them justice is down to the people who look at the book, I suppose.
Going off the back.
Actually, I'm going to...
Go on.
Sorry, Adam. I was just going to say, I'm going to send you, I hope James won't mind, I'm going to send you, people won't be able to read it, but it just sort of exemplifies the kind of what lives behind, like what the structure of the story is. I'm just going to send you through one that we're working on. No one will be able to read it, so there's no spoilers, but it hopefully will show you the sort of the kind of thing that the structure, how it underpins, how it all comes together.
Yeah.
I've just fired it over to you in an email, Adam. I don't know if it's something you can share on the screen, but I think for anyone who's done a map of a fighting fantasy book, this will look kind of familiar. Only not hand drawn.
Right. Yeah, I've just got.
This is where your maps comes out, Gil.
So, it's a map, yeah.
No, do you know what I'm saying? So that's when designing the story. It's obviously got to be, to a certain degree, a straight line, or at least you've got to get from A to Z. It's just about everything that comes in between, and making sure that it flows narratively, that your opponents get harder and harder as they go. And actually, James, your other half, Charlotte, said that the writing felt more intense as she went through, which is sort of an accident, but I'm glad that it's worked out that way, that it becomes a little more kind of intense and claustrophobic and horrific as you go through.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think with most fantasy stories, there's always, you're driving towards a goal, and things have to get more dangerous, more dramatic, more things have to be valuable, you're in more peril. And I think, like you said, we did a bunch of test books, and we sent them out to a few people that we know who run D&D shows or are just a really good fan of the books, in terms of we valued these people's opinions, and they came back with so much brilliant feedback. which we're now tweaking into the next stage of the book. And I think those kind of things really helped us. And I think, you know, that the feedback, like things got more dramatic, more tense as the book went along. You know, the combat became harder, made it seem like a movie. Don't do the hardest fight at the start of the movie. It's always at the end. And so things that we took real influence from, and I think it really helped the book.
Well, this thing you just sent me is very interesting. I've just realised, it's not the Necromancer book that you've sent me. It's
no, this is
the upcoming.
The next one.
Yeah, but it's really interesting. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to share this on stream because I think it would kind of it'd spoil it. I think with what I'm looking at, it's very specific in areas, you know.
Okay,
it's very interesting. It's really interesting. Like, honestly, I can see the complexity of everything, you know, of how it's all laid out, and yeah. Honestly, I can't wait for this one as well. Like,
yeah, Gil, stop giving away the farm. Like,
well, so when's this expected then? Like, so Necromancer this December, yeah.
Yep.
So,
is this one got a title?
Oh no.
No.
Not yet. No.
Not yet.
Oh, stop sending book 2, Gil.
So when do you anticipate this then to come out after Necromancer?
I mean, James, go on, James.
Let's say we haven't got a timeline yet, but depending on how Necromancer goes, I would assume, and how long things take, you know, maybe the same time next year, you know, or maybe even sooner, depending on how quickly things move and how successful this first book is. Because we're pumped, you know, we're really into this now, and we just we can't wait to get stuck into book 2. But we still have so much to do for Necromancer, and the campaign hasn't even gone live yet. So we're looking for the campaign to go live, I think, at the end of this month. Oh, sorry, the end of mid to end October. We're going to campaign for about 30 days. And then we'll wrap that up at the maybe end of November. And then we'll print, post, just in time for Christmas. Hooray.
Brilliant. Honestly, Santa's come early, almost, you know.
We hope so.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, I'm just like I'm kind of almost speechless here because, like, obviously, last week you guys reached out to me and I knew nothing about this. This is kind of like sprung from nowhere type of thing, and it's a very nice surprise. It's a very lovely, welcome addition to these types of books where, you know, I feel like almost getting drip fed by the original writers. Like they're not, you know, every year releases type of thing. They're kind of like, you might get 2 in 1 year, you might get then 1 3 years later. They're kind of like slow to pump out, and I kind of miss that sort of constant every year's a new release. But I feel like it's back now. I feel like, you know, with Hammerforge Chronicles and the Legion of the Necromancer is the first in a long series of releases or of books of ideas and adventures to go on. You know, I can't wait.
Thank you, Adam. Go on, James.
Sorry, I was going to say, look, we're definitely doing 3. No matter what happens, we're doing 3. And they'll all be standalone books, like, you know, the original. I don't think at this point we're considering doing like a series of that, but it will be 3 books. They're all going to be very different, but they're all going to obviously, you know, I think engage people in the ways that they like, from fighting fantasy or Lone Wolf or any of that kind of those other series. We're trying to bring everything that people loved about all those series of books into these first 3. So they're all going to have their own unique characters, their own unique personalities, you know, unique combat and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we've always said we're going to do 3, see where we go. If people are enjoying them, we'll do more.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
As James is... Sorry, Adam.
No, go on, carry on.
As I say, as James kind of pushed when we started to talk about it, when we realised that you know, the idea had legs and that we were really stoked to do them, was particularly the first one would be a real homage to the originals. But again, how can we make it feel familiar, like the memories that we all have of them, but also put our own mark on it? And hopefully we'll do that more and more. And if I'm being honest, from not giving away too much, is I'm a massive lover of science fiction, but oddly I found the sci-fi ones the weakest of those originals. Starship Traveller
yeah.
is sort of broadly sort of regarded as one of the weakest ones, and I don't
Star
disagree.
Trek, you know, Star Trek, isn't it? You got your crew, you're the captain.
Yeah, but it's interesting that didn't work. Rings of Kether is not a super strong one, and the other one, Rebel Planet.
I like that one.
So, oh, you like Rebel Planet? Okay,
Yeah,
actually,
I think it's interesting. Like, gives you a real rich history first before you play the game.
And that's, I think, the challenge is, as someone who really loves science fiction, isn't it weird that the ones that I liked of the originals are not the science fiction ones? So I wanted to take my love of the Alien franchise and that sort of and Predator and so on, and inject it into a fighting fantasy novel to see if I could make a science fiction fighting fantasy novel that I really enjoyed. And so that's, taking on that challenge, because that would really be our own signature on it. And as James said, developing new species of monster and all the sort of the lore that surrounds it as well from his point of view is yet another way that hopefully we'll put our own signature on things.
Yeah, and eventually...
And also, dare I say, sorry, Adam, just one more thing as well, is that all of those other things that we sort of love, like, steampunk or cyberpunk and, William Gibson, all these kind of other things that have happened since fighting fantasy that we can inject into it to give it our own twist.
Yeah. And I forgot what I was going to say anyway, so don't matter.
That's right. Actually, your pal Rhyme Master just in the chat said about Creature of Havoc, with the language and the code. Like, what an absolute innovation! I mean, I totally blew my mind, that one. I have to say, I find it still really difficult, Creature of Havoc.
Yeah.
But those are the kinds of things that we want to come up with.
Oh, that was it. And eventually, with all the new creatures you create, you could possibly have like an encyclopedia release of these monsters, much like Out of the Pit.
Yeah, absolutely. And action figures as well, or lead miniatures, James.
Painting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when we started this, we were thinking about what kind of things we can do in terms of add-ons and pledge goals and things like that. But I think we're trying to keep this first one just simple, very book related. But God, I mean, as we're both big fans of things like, as a kid, action toys, Transformers, stuff like that, and then went on to like Games Workshop and Warhammer 40k and stuff like that. So the idea of being able to like create a miniature, of like the Necromancer or like our main character just fills me with so much joy. Maybe something we can do that a little later down the line, and really go into all these kind of amazing aspects of the lore and gifts. We were talking to someone recently about possibly a branded leather dice cup.
Ooh.
So stuff that people would appreciate, that would really speak to the people who love these books. So yeah, there's so much stuff down the line that we're really excited to do.
Well, so kind of speaking personally now, like I want to know, like, James, yeah, what is like your so music, movies, books, and like illustrators / paintings, yeah, like the four arts, I guess you could call it: movies, music, books, and paintings or illustrators. Who's your favorite in all four categories? So who's your favorite musician, band, or singer? Who's your favorite movie or movie star? Who's your favorite book or writer? Who's your favorite illustrator or artist? For both of you, that is.
Wow.
James, do you want me to go first? Give you a minute to think, because you know that I've...
Oh, yeah. Gil's been thinking about this list since he was 7 years old.
Okay, so I'll do two. The first one is, I'm a massive fan of Terry Gilliam, who was the animator who did the animations in the Monty Python, who also directed The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, Brazil, 12 Monkeys, Time Bandits. I just love the surreality and the fun of Gilliam. It's so kind of detailed and fantastical, but also kind of can be macabre. So I really love Terry Gilliam as a filmmaker. I think he's just absolutely amazing. And the other one, in terms of favorite writers, I think the challenge is, and Adam, I'd say it back to you as well, is that if you're really into reading, if you really love reading, your favorite writer is often going to be a difficult thing to choose because you'll have so many. Well, it depends on the mood. It depends if I'm on holiday. It depends, at the moment I'm reading lots of J.G. Ballard, but last year I was reading lots of Stephen King.
Yeah, it could come and go.
For the sake of, that's it, right? So I would say at the moment I've found myself reading lots and lots of M.R. Carey, who's the guy who wrote The Girl with All the Gifts.
All right.
And I've just sort of almost accidentally found myself in the last sort of 3 or 4 years reading lots of his stuff because it's kind of like an updated contemporary Stephen King. It's horror, it's psychological horror, there's sci-fi horror, but there's a real intensity to his writing that I really love. So that's in the mix of King and Lovecraft and J.G. Ballard and David Mitchell, who wrote Cloud Atlas, I really love as well. So anyway, there's a couple of answers there on the reading and the movies. James, how about you? Illustrators and reading and what have you?
Illustrators. Okay, so I really like a guy called Adrian Smith. He was the main guy for Games Workshop in the kind of 90s and 2000s. And he just did all that brilliant art that people just fell in love with. And I think it was a big part of their success. Weirdly enough, obviously, when me and Gil were working for Metal Hammer magazine, we had to come up with CDs. Every issue had a CD on the front, and we did a range of CDs called Battle Metal, and they were all basically like Norwegian kind of bands singing about storming castles and destroy the orcs and all that kind of stuff. So we did this range of CDs called Battle Metal, and I used to have to come up with the artwork for the covers. So I thought, God, wouldn't it be great to get Adrian Smith to do a cover? And then I realised, well, I work for a magazine, I've got an art budget, I'll call him. So I got in touch with him, and he was just, on a down week, and so agreed to illustrate one of our Battle Metal CDs.
Which one did he do, James?
Did Battle Metal 3, I think it was. No, maybe 2.
Okay.
That Adrian
basically
Smith,
this kind of warriors in the snow, and
oh yeah.
So he did it, and I was just blown away, and it was like it was like one of those things that just made my life worthwhile. And best of all, gave me the original painting. And so I've got the original Adrian Smith painting of Battle Metal 2 or 3 from Metal Hammer downstairs, and I just can't wait to get it framed. It's been sat there in the vault for ages. So long story, two worlds collide, heavy metal music and fantasy art. I got to bring them both together. Very lucky to do so. And so yeah, Adrian Smith for me was just the greatest. Books wise, I mean, obviously Lord of the Rings, you can't go wrong. There's all the art, Alan Lee, all those brilliant illustrations. But when I was at uni, someone gave me a David Gemmell book, and I loved the Druss the Legends, that kind of series of books. So for me, David Gemmell's a bit of an absolute kind of pinnacle, but absolute foundational part of why I love those books. And recently, I'm reading the Games Workshop Horus Heresy series. It's like 40, 50 books, but they've just completed the Siege of Terror, which is like the finale spread over 7 books. So it's a bit of a long-winded, before, now, and future kind of books. Yeah. So, well, Gil, get us going with films and music.
I'm going to go for my illustrator next. And again, as someone who loves, I like Ronald Searle, Gerald Scarfe. James, help me out. Who's the one who did the Floyd stuff? Which of the 2 illos I just said?
Oh, that was Gerald Scarfe.
Gerald Scarfe, who did the Pink Floyd stuff. Love that. And of course the original Hunter S. Thompson illustrations. But actually, I'm going to go, for the sake of this and for the sake of today, I'm going to go with Boris Vallejo, the illustrator who kind of came up with the idea of, well, help me out, James, with Conan the Barbarian. All of that kind of late 70s into the 80s kind of Arnie muscle fantasy stuff that was on, synonymous with heavy metal, but also used on rave flyers as well in the 90s when I was going to raves. You'd get these weird Boris Vallejo art stolen and put on flyers, but it's just incredible. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just such a perfect. He's such an amazing illustrator for this sort of stuff.
Yeah, Frank Frazetta is basically the kind of stuff as well, isn't it? That kind of hero, muscle-bound dude holding a head of a dragon he's just killed, surrounded by, ladies not wearing very much. It's very of its time, but the actual artwork itself was just beautifully created and really helped kind of build the scene, really, wasn't it? But me and you, Gil, so just to kind of butt in on your answer, and someone who was at Rhymester back in the chat, Iron Maiden, obviously. So currently we worked a lot with Iron Maiden at Metal Hammer.
No way.
And since leaving Metal Hammer, I've started up my own design agency, working in the music industry, and I still work with Iron Maiden to this day. And obviously, everyone talks about Derek Riggs, who was the original Iron Maiden illustrator, all those brilliant images he used to create. And
beautiful.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, we're talking about illustrators of books and fantasy, but you don't get more fantastical than Iron Maiden covers. So yeah, absolutely, 100%. Good shout, Rhymaster.
And I think just to build on that, particularly Derek Riggs on Somewhere in Time, is a large, I mean, I guess it's a sort of poster-sized piece of art, but it's got all these Easter eggs hidden in it about all of the previous Iron Maiden songs. So it's a sort of a cyber street scene like Tokyo, and all of the names of the bars and the streets and so on are things from songs and albums and Iron Maiden's history. And that's just exactly the kind. I kind of love that referential. Or the nature of referential things. So there are a bunch of those kinds of things in Legion of the Necromancer, that, you know, little in jokes for James and I, or for people who like certain types of music. But as James pointed out to me, I kept infringing on IP and copyright, so I had to change a bunch of my references, because you can't say that because that's Tolkien's, mate. Oh, okay, I'll change that. No, you can't say that's an Iron Maiden song. You can't say that. Okay, bugger, I'll put that. No, that's Led Zeppelin. Oh, damn. Okay, but yeah, sort of being able to thread all of those passions into our art, so that people can kind of see our inspirations, I think is fun.
So, what about like movies and movie stars? Like, what do you watch to relax and chill, or what are you interested in? Or was that the Terry Gilliam? You already
I'm the Gilliam.
that.
James, what's yours?
Yeah.
What movies and TV do you like?
I mean, back in the day, you know, if you're talking about fantasy stuff, I used to love watching those kind of Krull and, you know, Red Sonja and all that kind of stuff. All those brilliantly, like, slightly low rent, but amazing for the time, you know. And it kind of really, if you're a kid who liked looking at Lord of the Rings posters, and suddenly there was this kind of Lord of the Rings style thing on TV, because up until that point, the only kind of Lord of the Rings things you could watch on television was the animation kind of movie they did, which was a bit scary. You know, and so like stuff like that back in the day was what I was all about. I absolutely loved it. These days, I mean, you know, I think everyone watches a lot of, like, the MCU stuff is a great thing because it's you know, it's a big budget version of comics that people used to love as a kid. They don't quite do them in the same way, but obviously I haven't watched the new Superman movie, but people say that if you love that kind of old kitschy Americana version of Superman, you're going to love that. So I'm looking forward to watching that. I think I'll watch it next week. But yeah, and obviously, you know, the high-end TV streamers these days are doing such brilliant, like, you know, it's basically just, you know, high-end movies for television. Like, I'm not sure if anyone watched, obviously, the Lord of the Rings TV show. I thought that had holes, but it was a great story, you know, well presented, and I hope they make more. And so yeah, I think we're just sport for choice these days. There just isn't enough hours in the day to watch all these brilliant shows.
Yeah, there is
Especially
so much out
you
there.
can now go onto YouTube and watch old episodes of Nightmare.
Oh, hey! I used to love
exactly.
that. I used to love that.
Actually, Adam, looking at you on the stream, chap, I reckon you could be. I forget what was the dungeon
The
master.
Dungeon Master.
I forget his name.
Oh, I can't remember. Yeah.
I reckon you get a good looky likey. If you're wearing a leather jerkin, mate, that would be. Yeah. I reckon that's a strong lookalike.
You just have to dye a couple of white streaks in your beard, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Hugo Maya stars as the Traegard of Dunshelm. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I used to. Oh, right. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Right, but yeah, like Brian Blessed. Me.
Amazing.
A bit more fuller, maybe. You know, you have to grow it into it a little bit. You know, but all of these things that you're talking about, all you know, to these sort of question I asked, all of this is like not inspiration, but
it is all inspiration.
Well, I suppose inspiration. Yeah, that what is, you know, could be fed into what you produce. Like, you know, everybody gets like inspired by what they love, and they generally tend to put it into what they love as well. So I can imagine like the Legion of the Necromancer and whatever the next book will be will have inspirations from what you guys are into. You're
And if you think, it's so true. Sorry, Adam, to hop in there. If you think, James, help me out. Is it "Ramble On," James, that is about Lord of the Rings? The Led Zeppelin song "Ramble On," right?
Dude, half their back catalogue is about Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so Led Zeppelin is based on Lord of the Rings, and then we've got Led Zeppelin references in the book.
way.
So it's kind of life imitating art, imitating art, imitating art.
Yeah.
So these sort of cycles go around. But you're absolutely right. Whether you're trying to or not, your inspiration, anything you produce will be the sum of your inspirations. And from a writing point of view, a story point of view, I want all my inspirations in there. I think, if I was in a band, I'd want to sound like my favorite band, right? So if you're producing art, you want it to feel like your favorite art.
Yeah, and I think, as Adam's a Queen fan, I can see the background there. We're going to have to put an ogre battle in next book.
Oh, yes, definitely.
We'll have a killer Queen.
That's a deep cut. That's honestly, yeah. Yeah, but Queen is my favourite band, yeah. With some thunderbolts of lightning, a bit frightening.
I mean, as Gil said, in our book, there are lots of references to, music we like. Very kind of, heavily buried into the story, whether it's the name of a town or a character. If you like rock or metal music, you might pick up on a couple of those things. But if you don't, they'll just pass you by. And it's kind of great. We love dropping in Easter eggs like that. And I think we're going to do that throughout the other books. Maybe not all heavy metal music, but just other things. Maybe some of the references we just talked about. I'd love to introduce a character called Krull, but I'm not sure if we'll be allowed to do that.
You just got to spell it differently.
Yeah,
like
just
5
add
L's.
an E on the end or something,
Yeah.
5 L's.
Yeah, 5 L's.
James, do you want to... Jeff Whitty Art has asked a question about where they can see more of your art.
From the book, I think just follow our social medias. We've only just started building those really because we're just all about the Kickstarter right now. In terms of my art, if you want to see my art,
it's on the Kickstarter page, isn't it?
On the Kickstarter page, go find the Kickstarter page. Yeah, and anyone who just if you follow the Kickstarter project, I'll be uploading more art to those channels as we go. I think I've shown about 5 or 6 pictures so far, but I've done 35, maybe 40 for the book. There's a lot more to show. So yeah, just follow that. But in terms of socials, we are still building those. For me, I haven't done anything like this before. Like these ink illustrations I've done for Necromancer, the first time I've ever done this. I'm a painter, I paint portraits, I do all that kind of stuff. So there's James Isaac's Art Instagram if you want to go check that out. But if you like the stuff that you've seen for Necromancer, follow the Necromancer stuff and you'll see more soon.
Hey,
I'd say as well, if you don't me doing, sorry Adam, I was going to say, we're on here, I know there are people listening and maybe those people have been listening since the beginning, but I would just do a quick sort of call to action to people to say, if you're listening, please, we'd love it if you followed our Kickstarter. We're going live, as James said, in a couple of weeks. Every single person who orders a book, whether it's the paperback or even the digital edition or the cool folio edition that James is working on at the moment, every extra person who pledges to buy one of those books makes it more likely that this will really, really happen. And so we really appreciate, Adam, your inviting us on and having a chinwag about fighting fantasy and inspirations in the book. But it would be really fantastic if people are happy to come and follow us on the Kickstarter and support the book. And of course, you get a book. It's not charity. You do get a book. So yeah, there you go, Adam. Yeah, you're sharing the art.
Mate, honestly, first-time artist, in a book. These are amazing. These are what you'd expect to see in fighting fantasy of the veterans that have been doing the illustrations.
Too kind. Well, as I have said, I've been drawing monsters and dragons since I was 12. So now I actually get to do it for a reason and not just, to impress kids at school.
This is just that there, the gnome on the. I don't know if he's a gnome, but on the mushroom. Honestly, that could have been taken from the sorcery. That could have been in the sorcery book. That it's that good. This is really good, and obviously, you say this is your first one, so you'll see things that you may not be, or want to improve on in the future, and so it only gets better from here, to be honest.
Oh, Well, we hope so. Like, I think we both want to get better at what we do, and I think just talking to you and getting the feedback we've got from a lot of the people so far, it's just really helping us. Like, so you do anything for the first time, it's never going to be perfect. So we just want people to have fun. That's it. If people have fun with the book, enjoy doing it, and want us to do more, then we will. And we're just having such a blast doing it. We'll be doing our day jobs during the day, and I'll suddenly send an image of it's like, Gil, does this look like a dead hand to you? And he'd be like, oh, maybe a few more maggots or something. It's like, great, okay, gotcha. And there's actually one of the images on the Kickstarter, which you might see, is of some tentacles wrapping around your feet. I said to him, it's like, what kind of gear is our adventurer wearing? What's his feet going to look like? So he sent me some kind of archaeological images of medieval boots that someone dug up. And I was like, great, that looks great. And I thought, I think my wife's got boots that look like that. So I went downstairs, grabbed her pixie boots, brought them up, took a picture, and then drew those boots. So the boots that this tentacle is wrapping around is a mixture of 1,000-year-old archaeological dig and my wife's boots. So it's we take references from everything.
They look like cobblers, don't they? Those wooden cobblers you get back in the days. They're the exact same shape. Obviously, they're made of leather, though, not wood.
And I'd say this to those people, Adam, for yourself, if you're not an illustrator, if you're a writer, and to anyone listening, is imagine that you're a writer and you have an idea in your head, and you get to say to someone of James's talent, James, I've got this idea. It's basically, and again, I'm trying to think of examples, is can we have a Cthulhu in there? James, so this Nightghast beast is kind of like this kind of huge, tall insectoid kind of monster that's got a banshee's face. And James will sort of, and then 2 days later, I get my brief comes back to me as that insane illustration. And so to be able to do that 40 times, it's just, I can't tell you how awesome that is. And again, to imagine to anyone, when you've got an idea in your mind, and to work with someone of James's talent to bring it to life has just been, even if we don't raise a penny or sell a single book, it's just been amazing just to be able to do that.
I mean, this front cover looks amazing. I'm not sure where the Terminator endoskeletons come into it, in the background there, but honestly, this looks amazing. I can't wait to get and play this. And definitely, for anybody who doesn't know, in the description of this live stream there is a link to the Kickstarter page, but you literally just go to Kickstarter and type in Hammerforge Legion of the Necromancer. It will come up. And that reminds me, Hammerforge Chronicles is your company that this is under. Where
That's the imprint.
The imprint. What's Hammerforge Chronicles? Where did that come from? What's the...
Go on then, James. It was your idea.
Well, because we both met at Metal Hammer magazine, you can probably connect the dots there. That this book, this company, and this kind of project was forged by our meeting at Metal Hammer. So we are hammer forged in a way.
Right,
so
gotcha.
That's where it came from.
Nice. I like it. And it's strong.
See, he's the clever one, Adam.
It's a strong name on Hammerforge,
Exactly. And just saying it, makes you sound like a movie trailer voiceover.
Yeah, and of course with Chronicles, there's more to come.
Exactly.
It's not just a one-off and then they've disappeared.
Exactly. Yeah.
And to answer Rymester's question, there are the classic 400.
I was thinking about that when I was scrolling down. I saw the pages and it reminded me, I wonder if this is going to be the classic or a Jonathan Green with 400 plus. But cool, nice. And obviously, there's a rules of an explanation of rules, I take it within the book for people who maybe have never played these games before.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we said before, this first book follows the Fighting Fantasy kind of template. Not strictly, but I think it's a very simple process to get involved with. All you do is figure out your basic stats at the start, and off you go. And like I say, you can do it religiously, and the people with with dice and taking combat notes and making sure. But if people wanted to do it the way that some of us did it as kids, where you just read through it, you can do that. Do it that way too. I think we just want people to enjoy it the way they want to enjoy it. So it's it's totally up to them.
And if you back it, you get an ink sketch as well by James.
Yeah, so that is part of the. We were just talking about that this morning.
Wow.
Actually, like, if the top pledge means that I'll do you an ink sketch in the style of illustrations in the book. It'll probably just be a skull, because I love drawing skulls, and something that I can do hopefully a few times if there's more people, pledging to that level, and I'll personalize it, and you'll have your own little ink sketch. Whether we're going to do it, I'm going to ask some people whether we do it in the book or as a separate piece on a bit of art paper. We're not quite sure yet, but you will get a sketch from me, and then every single edition of the book, so paperback and the gold printed hardback, plus the digital edition if you're on the move. So yeah.
I love how you've separated all these, your acolyte, wizard, hunter, warrior, champion, warlord. I love that. That's ace, that is.
James, I told you he's the clever one.
Yeah. So
words are easy, it's fine.
Are you a hunter? Are you a warrior? Guys, are you a champion? Everyone wants to be a warlord, I reckon.
Yeah, everyone wants to be the warlord, right?
Yeah. But
I think I'm probably bar wench.
The one below the acolyte. The bar wench.
Right.
Oh man, honestly. Well, I'll tell you, man. I get paid on Friday, so I'll definitely be joining in one of these quests.
Yeah. Well, that's brilliant.
Well, Adam, you'll get a thanks. We'll put you in the Hall of Heroes. For anyone who's supported, they get their name in the Hall of Heroes. So yeah, you'll be in there already.
Oh well, thank you very much.
We've done the first test books, and we've had all that feedback. So now we're about to print another small run of finished books. We hope paperbacks that we're going to send out to some people. So drop us your address, obviously, and we'll send you out a book or two. It's just thank you for having us on, and we just want to know what you think too, because there's people like you in your community whose opinion we value so much, because it's people who love these books. Are the people who we're going to listen to the most. So yeah, we'll send you a book. We'd love to know what you think.
Yeah, well, like before the release, you mean, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, thank you so much, mate. Honestly, is that one that I'd be able to play on a Sunday with everyone, or is that that's for
amazing?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Like I say, the good thing about these books is, as you know, every person who plays it is going to have a different adventure. So whatever you do doesn't mean that it's a spoiler, but it's we probably do it a little bit further down the line, but yeah, we'll send you a book, and it should be the finished version. But you still have time between when those books go out, which will hopefully be in the next week or two, to when the campaign finishes, and we print the final editions, which will be obviously in December. But you will be getting a very limited run of a press copy. But if you do see anything that you think could be that doesn't quite work, or you think you want to let us know about, please do, and then we've still got time to tweak it for the final book. So we're still in that information gathering phase.
Oh right, okay, yeah, cheers, thank you, I appreciate that so much, and not at all. Happy to check it out, and thank you. So obviously you mentioned that you've got it's a trilogy that is that already begun working on for the future? It's not a trilogy as in they're connected, but I mean, you've got 3 books that you're currently working on, or is that obviously Legion of Necromancers this year, possibly the second one next year, then you got a third one? Have you already started some ideas on that, or?
We have 4 ideas on the go. At various stages of planning, but one of the key things is for James and I want us to get together in the earliest stages and spend time building out those worlds and the ideas around gameplay. But of course, because we're now sort of going live with the campaign, and there's been lots of work on it, I've got to keep my powder dry and not accidentally go away and write the whole thing. So when we've gone to print with this, James and I'll get together and start to build those out. But there are certainly 4 main ideas that are all very different from each other. So in terms of it being a trilogy, I think a bit like movies, it's a trilogy until there are 4 of them, right? And then it's a quadrilogy until there are 5 of them. So I don't know what the Fighting Fantasy. How many are there? Is it 40 something? Is it 50 something now?
More than that, mate. There's 50.
Yeah, I don't know what.
There's 60 in the original Puffin release range.
Oh wow, 60.
60, and then obviously they went on and printed like before they even got to Scholastic, there was like another almost 10, I think. And then under Scholastic, there's been like I think 7. You know, obviously as well as the reprints of the older series, but brand new adventures. That in all, if you count sorcery as well, there's a little shy of 80.
Christ, yeah, I don't know what that is. Ology, 80ology. So you know, the answer is we'll just
a
keep
lotology.
expanding
That is a lotology.
Yeah, tautology.
Yeah.
So I think we'll no doubt return to some of the universes. Again, I know the original one was, many of them were set in Alancia, and we may return to those worlds that we've set up. But I think we both agree that structures are great, but don't have them for the sake of them. Don't let the structures constrict you. You know, people keep asking about the paragraphs. Creature of Havoc is at 420 or 440 paragraphs in it, so you don't need to stick to 400. You know, just whatever is going to make it the best item.
Exactly.
That's what we'll do.
Exactly. Yeah, and anyone in the world, anywhere in the world, can enjoy these. These aren't just limited to, sorry, only people in America are going to be able to access this. It's a global reach, depending on
It's
obviously
global.
shipping and that.
That's it. So I think, and James, you and I talked long and hard about this, because it is obviously it's a massive thing that if you're buying a 12 quid book and it's 50 quid to send it to, you know, South Dakota, it's a little imbalanced in terms of the value. So I think one of your maybe it's Spellsinger is in Australia. It'll take a long time and cost a lot of money to get it there, which is a shame. But of course, there are digital editions. So
weight as well. I mean, you know, there's a hardback edition and a paperback edition. So one's going to cost more, probably based on weight. Are you guys forging this in metal as well? Are the books made of iron cast? You know what I mean? The hardback is truly hard. You know.
Well, we once did a copy of Metal Hammer magazine for anniversary for a Metallica album release, and we put it in a metal slipcase.
Oh.
So the magazine came in sheet metal.
No way.
And we embossed it on the front, just said, "This is metal." And that was it. That was when we had budget and ridiculous ideas. And so, yeah, eventually, never say no to anything. So at some point, I'd love to do like a proper leather-bound, you know, tome, you know, clasped in like, you know, metal corners and stuff like that. So we'd love, you know, if you get us on those kind of like paths of what kind of finishes and what kind of production we could do, you know, we'll talk your ear off for days, because those kind of things we really value. But we'll walk before we can run on this, I think. But talking back to the shipping, I think eventually what we'd love to do, and I think we'd probably do this for if we reprint book 1 or if we when we do book 2, is to have international distribution. So we're not just printing in the UK and shipping. We might have a printer and distributor in America, maybe one in Australia or Asia, so we can reach those countries easier, and obviously cut down on shipping costs, because we'd love this for as many people. Yeah, because those shipping costs are ridiculous right now. Really,
yeah.
You know, obviously with
different countries as well, different rates and
nuts. So we are working on having an international distribution service. So if you are buying in Australia or America or Antarctica, I don't know, but you know, those costs will come down. Books will be the same. We're not going to just, you know, we're not going to charge more for the books, but we're only going to charge for the cheapest possible way of shipping. And hopefully with that plan later down the line, we can make sure everyone get it at a reasonable cost, because the shipping costs right now are killing it. So sorry about that. I wish there was something we could do about it, but
well, we say, you know, global printing, you know, that could kind of avoid all that and avoid everyone feeling like this guy in the picture. You know, my book is, you know, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg, you know. But yeah, it's
how much for DPD?
To be honest, I feel like it'd be worth it, even if, like, okay, I understand I live in Fiji, so it's going to cost, you know, a lot of money to get anything anywhere. But once I have it in my hands, I've got it then for the rest of my life.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, you know, after we finish the campaign and we print that first run, we have opted for, I think on Kickstarter you can have late pledges where you can buy a book after the campaign's finished. So there's no immediate, if you miss the campaign, that's fine. We'll sort you out. But maybe for later on down the line, we can sort that out. Especially definitely for book 2. But if there's some way of doing it between now and then, we will sort out those international distribution scenarios, because it's definitely worth doing. Because the international tariffs and stuff are just killing everything in terms of shipping and trading. And people are saying that people have just stopped selling on Etsy because people in other countries have stopped buying because of the shipping, not because of the cost of the production. I used to buy lots of records and vinyl from America, and I can't now because the vinyl costs 20 quid, but to ship it costs 50 quid. So it just seems absolutely incredible. So yeah, hopefully things will calm down and we will sort that out later down the line and make it easier for people to buy.
Yeah. I'm definitely picking up the hardback edition, man. It's going to sit on the shelf, hardback. Defend myself.
I'm super stoked for that.
Yeah.
I think, James, when we started, James, it just sort of, when I saw your first few illustrations, I just thought, particularly the fighting fantasy novels are like a slightly smaller scale than your average novel already, and I just thought it's such a shame to have what you've done small. I want to see it large. I want to have like a big kind of art book level type item. And so we started talking about having, I keep saying A5, but what do I really mean, James? What is the size?
Well, the size of our paperback is actually called a demi size, which is more the size of the sorcery books, if you remember, were slightly bigger. So it's going to be, our actual paperback will be bigger than the original fantasy books, like a small novel size. Ours is going to be a bit bigger, probably more like the size of the sorcery books, and the hardback will be slightly bigger still. So there'll be a good chunky item in your hand. It'll look good on the shelf, and with the gold foil and everything. So yeah, we're not going small. We just want someone to feel like they've got something valuable, and I think having those slightly larger books will add to the weightiness of the story. So yeah, so it's called demi, which is like slightly bigger than novel size.
So I'm looking at the paperback and the hardback here. That I quite like the cover of the paperback. I might have to get both, guys. Like, honestly, I love the picture of the paperback, but obviously the format of hardback, and I always prefer hardback where possible. So I might just have to get both.
Well,
can you do multiple
then,
backings? Can you back it twice and say like
that makes you the warlord? That makes you the warlord, Adam. If you go for the warlord pledge, means that you get both editions. And James will draw your skull.
There you go.
You don't have to have the drawing. There's one before that where you can have both editions and the digital without the sketch, and it's a lot cheaper. I think it's like 40 quid. 40 quid for the hardback and the paperback and the digital, which is pretty good, I think.
Boom, that's it. If I ask you to do a sketch run, I have to, put my face on it and, sketch me out instead of a skull.
As long as you want your face on a skull. Just do a skull with a beard.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, because obviously I've only just recently met you guys. For me, I always feel like people's work is almost like a reflection of them. Of, like we were talking before about favorite bands and all this and all that. But I want to go deeper now. I want to get deeper into James, and that sounds so weird. But I've got 2 questions for you both, right? And you might think they're a bit weird, but to me, they say a lot about, So, favorite sound in the world, favorite swear word, and then the thing that turns you off in the world.
Right.
So, like, and favorite, sound, smell, and swear word. And then the thing that turns you off, like, no chance.
Oh
God, go on, Gil. You're the writer. You can evoke these kind of answers better than I can.
Okay, so again, it's someone who loves music. I think the sound thing will be possibly quite difficult, because on the one hand, the sound of the sea, the sound of the jungle is amazing. But also there are some like really nasty 80s synthesizers that I love. The sounds. I'm really into my like 90s dance music as well. So there's probably some sound, like the sound of someone scratching. I really love my hip hop as well. So like people scratching. So I don't know if that's sort of in the vein of what you're thinking.
Any sound,
also,
like
but
favorite sound, but one favorite sound. What's your?
Oh, Jesus! Okay, I'm gonna go with the sound. I'm gonna go with the sound of the jungle because it's so unfamiliar that when you hear a noise, you're like, I don't know if that's a frog or a bird or something else, right? It's like that mystery that you're not quite sure what you're listening to. It's like this, just the immediate sound of well, an alien world to you. So maybe I go with that.
Yeah.
Favorite smell? God, that's difficult. I mean, toast possibly. I love the smell of basil and like fresh herbs is always nice. Weirdly, where I live in Norwich, you can smell people smoking weed at least 5% of the time, and it's not unpleasant. Little freebie. What was the other one? So I had sound, smell, and
swear word. What's your favorite swear word? Feel free to say it. You know,
that's
it's an
a
18
difficult one.
18 plus
like,
stream. This. So
okay, I feel like if you're a fan of the thick of it, I think creative swearing is a real art, and so combinations of words. I mean, I think we use the term fuck nugget a lot in this house, which
right, okay.
So I mean, that may be one. Shite hawk is also quite good.
Shite hawk.
So James, what about you? Sounds, smells, and swearing.
Oh, sounds. I mean, I'm going to sound like a very basic kind of person, but I can't get over the sound of my cat purring. You know?
Yeah.
When it's just sat on your lap and he's just kind of vibrating.
Yeah.
You can kind of, feel his chest. I just sends me just in a kind of to like a fugue state. I love that. Or my dog snoring. Either or, one of the two. Some kind of animal breathing loudly. The sound that makes me sound like a right kid. Yeah, I love that. That sound, smell. What's that? There's a specific word for the sound of pavements after rain.
Cut grass. Almost smells like, doesn't it? Fresh dew.
There's something. Yeah, I mean, obviously, cut grass is a big one, but there's a specific. Well, that's my wife. She's clever. There's a specific word for the smell of rain, or the smell of pavement after rain has gone. It's just like
damp.
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 Love the smell of damp.
All right, I'll leave that one.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely. Once the rain has stopped and it's still wet on the ground and it's got this aroma of freshness in the air, like
it's called something. I'll come back to that. In terms of what was the other one?
serenity.
Swear word. I don't think you can get any better than bollocks. It's like
Yeah.
me of a good English swear word.
Yeah,
Bollocks.
that's good.
Yeah.
It's great to hear Americans say bollocks because they haven't quite got that kind of rural twang that it needs.
Bollocks.
I can hear a bit of West Country, but I'm from Bristol, so when people from the West Country say bollocks, it's just got a nice little ring to it.
Yeah.
Proper Gert Lush.
It's proper lush that.
I grew up in Texas, so my accent has diluted down to where you just said. Everybody thinks I'm from Southern England or West or something, but nope. Just got a diluted Texan accent.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a nice little hybrid. I love it.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Are you from Somerset?" "Are you from Somerset? Hey, what gives you that away?" Like I was like, "No, I've never been to Somerset, to be honest." But yeah. So, and what's the one thing that turns you off in the world?
Hate littering.
Littering, yeah.
Yeah, littering. Oh my God, littering is what's going to make me like if a political party came in and said we're going to put up watchtowers with harpoons on, and anyone who litters gets a harpoon in the neck. I think whatever wing they were, I would vote for that. I am hardcore when it comes to littering. I live in a city, and so it's just, yeah, man. I'm just going to have James's one, littering.
Yeah.
I think if you should run for office, and like the harpoon littering thing, I think would be your first, your gold pledge.
Browsing TikTok in public, like people who don't use headphones on public transport. I realise I'm sounding proper gammon now, but yeah, I think antisocial behaviour. There you go.
TikTok in general for me, mate.
Gil, you're going to go just young people. Young people.
Antisocial fuck nuggets. That's
Mate, honestly, everyone's like that, and
our second book.
everyone's like that these days, And I've sat on a bus because I personally don't drive. I have to get the bus to work, and I sit on the bus. And You just look around. Oh shit! Turned on my printer. Oh god, was
Big
it
shout out
printing?
to, live chat.
Turn
He
off.
got the word that I was trying to think of, which is petrichor. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
earthy scent produced when rain falls on dry soil. Thank you, Ram. I'm glad that someone clever is here. It's not.
Petrichor. Never heard of that one. I don't know what my printer's trying to do. It's just turned on and starting to print shit. I gotta say, there's no paper in it, so I ain't gonna do anything. But I can't even turn copying. What? Sorry about this. Like honestly, it's got a mind of its own. This thing. No paper. Yeah, because you're not meant to turn on, mate. That's why. Sorry. Yeah, but like I was saying, yeah, everyone on the bus, they're like that, you know. And you could be sat at a dinner table, surrounded by people, and half of them are in their own, you know, space. The sound of a printer.
So
That's your favourite sound, Andrew. It won't turn off now. That's the thing. I can't.
I hope you've learned something about us now. You know, with all our weird foibles.
What?
Explains how we made this book and what kind of stuff we like and don't like. You know, I think a lot of that, like you said, goes into the book. So I hope we've painted a decent picture of who we are.
Well, I've got one more of these personal ones, and then one for both of you. Which so, and I'm not, you know, there's no overtones to this. It's supposed to just for fun, like, you know, to, I guess, challenge your wit, you know. But let's just, for argument's sake, say God exists. What would you like him to say when you arrive at the pearly gates of heaven to you?
You say pearly gates of hell?
Or hell? I mean, you know, if you want to go to hell.
I don't know if I'm getting into heaven. I think St. Peter might have something to say. He'll check the list and be like, so what did you say my name was again?
Back.
It's James Gill. Maybe I don't have a +1, but I should definitely be down. And St. Peter's like, no, I'm sorry. Let me just check downstairs for you. Yes. Yeah. No, they're expecting you. Yeah. If you just head back down the escalator.
The basement, please. You're in the.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, it's getting warm down here.
Exactly. You know, in some shops they've got like a poster on the side with all the people who've been caught shoplifting into a bard.
I like Jeff's answer, to be honest. But so that's your answer for him to turn around and say, "Sorry, you're in the wrong club. You're in the downstairs club, guys." Is that what, like?
I like the idea that that actually, like, and I had this as an idea for a short story. Is that I guess, you know, a Christian dies, or someone who's religious dies, and they find out that the other religion was true. So actually, I'll die, and it'll be the Hindu pantheon waiting at the pearly gates. So I'll talk to the monkey god Hanuman to try and persuade him that despite my kind of Catholicism or whatever I might have been, that please can I still come in? Because I think ultimately all the religions kind of preach the same thing, which is humility, generosity, don't kill, don't bully, stuff like that. So I think I hope that if Buddha is, you know, or Taoism or you know, Australian animism is the real religion, that I'd still manage to persuade my way in by living a good life based on the universalities of religions. There you go, James. You're up.
Wow.
I'll just get a fist bump.
Yeah, fist bump.
You
nice.
haven't got to fist bump yet.
Nice.
Yo, welcome.
I have to say, James, that's such a cool answer to go like, it's not even that something he would say. You just get the cool, like, I know who you are, nod. Nod. Like, just, nod. Just the nod. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like the bouncer at the club.
I like that.
Exactly. Just...
I like Jeff Whitty's answer. He said, your stamina has failed you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Be like, your quest is at an end.
The adventure is over, my friend. You know.
Zanzar Bone will see you now.
Right, so I've got one more for Hammerforge Chronicles. This is like, okay. So you release Legion, yeah, Legion, isn't it? Is it Legion or Legion of Necromancer? You release Legion of Necromancer, and you both receive an email from either Ian Livingston or Steve Jackson, you know, congratulating on your release, but offering you personally a book deal with Scholastic Publishing to be part of the Fighting Fantasy range. Do you accept it, or do you keep with Hammerforge Chronicles, or like what's your answer?
Personally, I that email off and frame it.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, Christ, if something like that happened, we'd be so made up. It'd be amazing. But I'm not sure how Gil feels about this, but I kind of, we've started this out on our own. I feel like we've got our own little journey to go on. I'd love to just see where we take it, especially, I still want to do these first 3 books, just see where we are from there, really. So if you know, if Ian and Steve want to get in touch, why not? But for right now, I'm just kind of happy on the little quest we're on. I just want to see where it takes us.
I want to discuss terms, Adam. What are the terms? I think, you know.
I've got terms. I've got terms for you. I've got terms. You ready?
Go on, then.
So for the illustrator, you'd be basically illustrating somebody else's written work that would not be James's, and for the writer, you would be writing a story that would be illustrated but not by James.
Oh, well, that's the hard no for me then.
Yeah, I think ultimately my understanding is that, you know, the music industry and probably publishing is the same to a certain degree. I know that there's within publishing there's the commercial publishing where you will get, you know, Adam, you're a writer, and we've discussed, you know, what's trendy at the moment, and 5 women opening an ice cream stall in Great Yarmouth is a story, so please can you go off and write it. So there is that commercial publishing, but within music now increasingly you won't get taken on a salary by a major label and paid to, you know, mess about for 2 years before you release an album. You've got to stump up the cash to record your album, and then when they can hear it, then they might license it. So I suspect what would happen is I would say, well, James and I would like to work on our own projects, and you can read the book, the finished book, and choose to license it or not. So that would probably be how I would like to do it. But, you know, it's always easy to say this is how I'd spend my lottery win if you haven't won the lottery, and then you win the lottery and you're like, actually, I'm just going to buy cocaine. I know I said I was going to give it all to charity, but now I've got the stack of money, I'm just going to buy a load of coke, like Scarface. So I can give it the big one about what my principles would be when it comes to Steve and Ian on the phone, but I'd probably just go, yeah, and yeah, no, show me where to sign.
Whatever you want, fine.
Title of the next book: Metal Coke to the Gods, coming up.
Yeah, either
So-
book or our next.
So yeah, basically it would be like your name is in the inside here, you know. For the artist, it's your front cover art, but the story ain't, you know, by James, and vice versa, you know. So you'd be joining their world, but I mean, there's nothing stopping you doing both. You know, you continuing on your journey with the Hammerforge Chronicles, and then if they did offer, you say, yeah, we could dish out a story for, you know, to join the Fighting Fantasy world that's separate from what we're doing, and yeah, I'd be happy to illustrate somebody's story, but this is my priority. You know, we'll continue
You can
down
represent
it.
us, Adam. Yeah, you sounds like you know it. You could be our agent.
I'm your agent. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, there'd be nothing stopping you doing both. You know.
Okay, well, now that you've painted a picture like that, I'm more in. Yeah.
You're up for it. All right, let me contact Ian.
Right.
Right, it's a go, Ian. You can email him now. Yeah. Honestly, do you know what? I've really enjoyed this, and I really don't want it to end, but I feel like the title of this stream is misleading majorly. So I'm
realised, like, you know, you've got a book to do.
Have I? We've got to do a book, guys. I'm really sorry. So what I'm going to do is I will strip off. Hang on a second. I will. That did not sound like what I meant. I will.
OnlyFans.
Hang on, I'm streaming to the wrong community here today. Sorry. I will take this interview or this discussion, this chat, our time together. I will take this and I will fashion a much more polished and, you know, professional presentation on a separate video. So and I will whore that out all over YouTube.
Lovely.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
But because I've really enjoyed this, and it's been great getting to know you guys, and I cannot bloody wait for December now. I feel like I'm wishing my life away just to get the release on that. And yeah, I'll definitely send you my address so you know where to send early copies, and I'm happy to do like the first look and the playthrough on this channel, no problemo. And definitely be, you know, your agent of basically, you know, everywhere I possibly can in all my power, spreading the good word of the Necromancer, basically. And
that'd be amazing. Thank you.
Hammerforge
And thank you
Chronicles.
so much. It's been super fun.
It's
Yeah.
been a lot of fun. And once you've done that video, the edited video, we'll put that out there as well. You know, we want to spread the word. You know, we are now part of the community, and we know that without the community of people loving this stuff, you know, it's not going to happen. So, you know, we'll just we'll do what we can, share the love.
Yeah, and then you're welcome back to come and join in, not only on like the live streams here, but just to have a chat, even, you know, in the future, you know, leading up to, well, release or even beyond. Like, more than welcome to, you know, chat again. Just like
Amazing. Well, we'll definitely come back. Thank you.
Yeah, we'd love to. Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
No worries.
Thanks for everyone watching as well.
Yeah, it's been really good fun chat, and thanks for all the comments and the questions and the schooling of the word petrichor. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I don't really know how to sort of end this because I don't want it to end, but I don't know how to really say goodbye, I guess. Is what I've
You have
got
to roll a die, and if it's 4 to 6, just
yeah,
chat.
exactly.
Test
I'm
your
gonna have
luck.
to roll.
Test your luck. If you're lucky, we just go.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah. Right. Well,
Adam, we're going to head. Thanks again so much. Let's and we'll happily come back in a few weeks when we go live, and when you've got the copy in your hands, maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah,
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. We'll. I mean, we'll meet up again for sure, and yeah, send us it out, and I'll definitely.
Brilliant, Adam. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. Take care.
Cheers, guys. Take
Have
care.
a good day.
That's it.
See ya.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye now.
Wow, that was totally unexpected, and wow, but I'm speechless, honestly. Usually the words are written for me and I just read them, but I'm actually speechless here. Like, what a great bunch of guys, and it's I've got to be honest here. I see a lot of these Kickstarter or what's the other one, GoFundMe or whatever, things on the Fighting Fantasy pages. There's the usual suspects who do this, and I'm always like, you know. But I am super happy to support these guys, and you know, this Friday I definitely will. Well, yeah, Friday coming, I'll definitely be signing up to get it. Even though they're going to send me an early release copy, I'll still back it because I really want this one to succeed and their future ones to succeed. I want them to take the mantle when Ian and Steve decide to fully retire. And you know, we need somebody like I mean, come on, let's face it. Like, most of the original writers, they're not, you know, teenagers anymore. So I mean, I imagine Jonathan Green, he's going to be like in the next 20 years looking to retire. Who knows? We need somebody to take the mantle of our great books to see us through for our final, you know, reach for the the staircase to heaven or the slide to hell. You know, we need torchbearers. Exactly, and that's yeah, that's where all this comes in. Definitely. Hang on, I want to keep some of this up here. So let me return. Let's return back to our regularly scheduled programming. And I've got to remember. There we go. That's that. I'm going to keep up the Hammer Forge though. Chronicles. So yeah, guys, the link is down below. Go. Are we dead yet, mate? Go and support them. Seriously, get backing and stop slacking, and let's get cracking. All right. So thank you, James and James. I mean, they're both got the same name. You know, it's like it's easy, isn't it? James. Which one am I talking to? Both. I don't know. pictures in that. But honestly, their artwork looks fantastic, you know. And there are obviously examples of the pages of the book. You can read the text. It flows just like wine, you know. It really easy from what I've seen on the Kickstarter. The only thing I have extra, which you can actually get off their website, is a little pack, which, I mean, it just has what's available on the Kickstarter in a JPEG form, you know, so you can actually look at it a bit more detail, you know, or you can just look at it on the Kickstarter website and zoom in, I guess. But it's really interesting, you know, and yeah. Ooh, actually, I might have to, you know, there's a paper graphics asset here where it's just a blank page of charred parchment. I might utilize this, guys, in the future, because I've always wanted to have the adventure sheet up on the screen, but the real estate, there's never enough room. But I don't know, I might be able to utilize that as a background, you know. But yeah, guys, I don't know about you, but I need a 5-minute wee break before we actually start. We're 2 hours into the stream. We haven't even started the bloody book. I kind of feel like we should have just done a stream of chatting with those guys and saved this for like another week. But we will play it. We will be playing it. But in all honesty, I do need a wee. I've been drinking like a camel here. So I honestly don't know. Oh, I do actually. They have got a, yeah, I really do need a wee, guys, sorry. Whoa. So I am going to just quickly, yeah, nip to the toilet. But at the same time, I will leave something for you guys to check out. Okay, it's only 7 minutes long, so that's perfect timing for me. And that is their trailer. And yeah, I'll be right back, guys.
I'm James, illustrator and designer, and thanks for checking out our Kickstarter for Legion of the Necromancer. We're asking you to be part of our adventure as we bring our tribute to the fighting fantasy books of Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone and many more to life.
Your pledge will help us print a beautifully illustrated folio edition book that you'll want to read and play again and again. Get the game book, special edition, prints, PDFs, and other limited edition treats as we launch our own series of epic choose your own adventure books. Join us.
If you love something, you also want to make it. And loving, and particularly in the last few years, revisiting and recollecting all of the old fighting fantasy books from when I was young. I was like, it's not enough to just sit and read one. I wanted to make one.
We geek out about a lot of things, don't we? Whether it's music or films or whatever. And we just hit this sweet spot of like fantasy kind of geekdom, where we both realized we both love these old school game books, these choose your own adventure books. And then we just suddenly had this kind of realization, like, wait a minute, you're a writer, I'm an artist and designer, what else do we need? And I think at that point we realized, why don't we just do it?
And of course, that conversation we had before Christmas, it just seemed so screamingly obvious that you and I should totally do one.
Yeah.
And actually, again, the idea of being able to do that with you, it seemed like a no-brainer. And the fact that you said yes meant that I triply wanted to do it as well.
I kind of wanted us to kind of, you know, get our chops, get our kind of heads in the game by doing something that was just so classical. You know, it had a bit of everything that I loved about the original book. You know, problem solving, really good monsters, really good fighting, a great story, a really good villain, a greatest hits of why I loved those original books.
You could call it the 52nd of the fighting fantasy series in that it's familiar. There are familiar structures and frameworks. It's 400 paragraphs, it's got the feeling of those originals. But exactly to your point, we've introduced other elements of lore. It's in a different universe. There are monsters that you've never seen in any of the originals. So we've given it our own twist. And of course, it's all of your illustrations in your particular style.
It's obviously for the people like me and you who loved the books back in the day when they were kids. A lot of those people might have kids now. And, you know, parents want to share something with their kids, you know, whether it's sport or TV or music or the world of fantasy. So I feel there's like a whole new community who would really appreciate these books. I think people are going to feel, very familiar, very at home with these books, but also energized, I think. Energized by the fact that A, we brought them back, and B, it's a fresh twist on what they love.
But then when you get the twists and all the new things that we've layered in, you get all these lovely surprises and new things to think about. I think we both agreed we wanted something that felt like the originals, and so it would be a sort of Tolkien-esque, universe, orcs and dwarves and wizards and various monsters. But in terms of the tone, I think this is what makes it ours, is that I'm a big lover of horror and sci-fi, and where those sort of two things meet, and fantasy, of course.
Old illustrators, stuff like that, like Alan Lee, the guy who did all the brilliant illustrations for Lord of the Rings, and Tom Young, who did the Lord of the Rings animated movie poster and stuff like that. Because I think with anything creative, you just look to the things that give you energy. And for me, it was, Russ Nicholson and Bob Harvey, all those amazing illustrators who did those fantasy books. And they did it in a style which I really want to do, which was traditional pen and ink, quills, brushes, all that style. So no computers, no AI, nothing like that. This is the problem. You think everything I've done's amazing. I think everything you've done's amazing. Yeah, like this. This is the original pen. I quite like this one. Because you described this guy, and it's like
such good artwork.
Insectoid zombie mammal with a gaping maw and huge, elongated limbs. The geography of this story is almost as important as the people in it, and it will always become something else, but it will always have those foundational elements to it. So this is our take. This is our remix album of the greats.
Love the skull wearing sunglasses in the background. I love their humor.
And I think kickstarting a project like this is the only way people can really feel involved. Because we're kickstarting the whole project, there's going to be certain pledge levels, there's going to be certain gifts, certain rewards, getting your name in the book, all these kind of things. And so there's a real element of teamwork, not just between me and you, but me, you, and the rest of the community, which I think is why all these projects succeed. The group and community aspect are the one thing which is going to take this forward, and I think Kickstarter is the best way to do that.
Dude's got the same vinyl record I have.
Makes me sound really materialistic. I'm like, because we want to be able to create cool stuff.
Yeah, that's
people.
true.
Like the cool editions. We want to be able to create cool editions of this. Like A5, seeing your illustrations as they started to come in. Let's have those A5. Let's have a cool spellbook kind of vibe.
Presentation is very important. And, obviously we're going to be slinging in some pretty good stretch goals in as well, I think. So all in all, there's going to be a really good basket of goodies.
So if you're watching this thinking, not sure, wait and see, fine. Pledge as little as £1 or follow the channel, this page. But I think you're gonna love being involved in our project, as James said. The very first thing, the main reason to support this campaign is because you will get a copy of Legion of the Necromancer, whether that's the paperback or the folio luxury edition that we're going to do a large edition of. And then we have prints and digital editions and so on. So you get the cool stuff. You get the amazing edition of this really fun, immersive game book that we've done. There's homage to the greats, Steve Jackson, Ian Livingstone, the Fighting Fantasy series. That's the first reason. The second reason is the reason that you said, which is that you get to be a part of this adventure that we're on as a pair of creators with a vision into the future. So you get to come on this journey with us. Reason number 3, if you support with even as little as £1, you get a thank you in the thanks page of the book.
But there is a section on Kickstarter that if you just want to support the campaign and you don't want any of the products, you can obviously just donate to the campaign to allow us to bring these things to life. and it would put a lovely warm glow in our black hearts. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks for your interest. Follow us here or one of our many channels. We look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to receiving your pledge.
Guys, seriously, that's it, man. You gotta go. You gotta go, guys. Honestly, go and support it. And it's great to know as well that they're up for also, you know, maybe doing a Final Fantasy, you know, book as well. But yeah, the link to their Kickstarter is in the description box of this stream. So if you're watching on the replay, go and join, and we will definitely be talking more in the future about this. Definitely. Looking forward to it. Right. With that being said, who's ready for Mage Hunter, guys? You know, I feel like this is kind of now like become like not even like a main thing to do. Is like, oh, by the way, as well, we're doing Mage Hunter, guys. Like, yeah. You know, this old thing. You remember this, guys? You know, let's get into this, shall we? To be honest, I just want to sit in the world of the Necromancer more and the Hammerforge Chronicles and kind of go through everything. But I definitely on Friday will be backing them and looking forward to reading and playing through and seeing the future ones. And like I said, Dave sent me a picture, which I don't want to show because I don't want to spoil, but it basically is the map layout for their next book, and it looks super interesting. It looks really good, honestly. You know, I cannot wait for that one to come out just as much as the Necromancer, you know. So yeah, anyway, Jeff's out now. That's it. He's got to get out. He's all done basically. No worries, Jeff. Don't worry about it, mate. You'll be able to watch this on the repeat as well. Don't worry. But for everybody who's going to stay, here we go. Let's do this, shall we? So now this Mage Hunter is a really interesting story because in the adventure sheet here, there is a section to have a companion and a companion stats here. And also, I don't think much proofreading happened on this book, is because if you notice the stats here, they all say skill instead of skill, stamina, luck. There's 3 skills boxes. So rip on the proofreader for this book. You know, should have hired somebody to have a look at this before when going to print. There's 3 boxes there for skill. But you also have a companion, which is pretty cool. So we're not the only one here in this story. There's a box here which you can tick for switching. So you can play as your companion, or you can play as the, you know, what is this? There's a whole section at the very beginning of the book here about the mage. I'm going to have to read that out. I don't know what it is, man. It says here, in the course of my long career as a pursuer of foulness and... Oh, I need my glasses, man. I can't read that. It's got some weird font on it, so it makes it a little bit harder to read. Let me get me glasses on. The old man glasses. I'm turning into a right old fuddy-duddy, you know. In the course of a long career as a pursuer of foulness and castigator of demons, I have found the following methods to be effective. 2 or more in combination should be sufficient to constrain even the most potent magery. So there's one, defeating a mage, and then there's another one about detecting a mage, and then there's another one about pursuing a mage. So defeating a mage, it's a 5-step process. Dressing as a sorcerer in undyed cloth will tie him to earth. Second, a bullet or purest silver will pierce a mage's skin. Third, a sword which has been touched by the mage's blood may wound him. Fourth, tying a wizard with rope of human hair will restrain him and prevent him from using sorcery. And 5, a mage cannot protect himself against his own sorcery. Man, that's a very specific set of rules, that is. The second section is detecting a mage, and there's 5 points again. The 1, wizards do not eat fish. Okay, you guys got to remember this, by the way. This is all probably going to come into play. 2, mages must always wear some red cloth close to their body, or they will be deprived of half their power. 3, small birds will sicken and die if a sorcerer is near. 4, if asked from whence they came, mages never tell the truth. So never believe their bullshit. Number 5, if submerged in water, a sorcerer's body will swell to twice its normal size. So that's how you can detect a sage and how you can defeat it. But how do you pursue a mage? And there's 5 points again. Number 1, if the holy symbol is drawn in the earth and a stone cast into the circle, it will fall to the quarter, showing the direction of the nearest mage. This sounds very complicated. 2, if a compass needle is dipped in wizard's blood, it will always show the direction of the wizard, and the speed at which it moves shows how near he is. Number 3, every 101 stone footprint left by a mage is that of a cat. Okay. Number 4, a hound which is fed for a week on nothing but goat's meal may sniff out the scent of a wizard. Mate, Paul Mason, mate, what are you sniffing when you wrote this? Number 5, the flames of a fire lit in the open on the 13th day of the new moon will point in the direction of the nearest wizard. Have a care for wizards are impervious to normal earthly weapons and may use their powers of trickery to deceive a pursuer, no matter how slough of heart. Some of these words, I think they're just made up. Any man who accepts the gift of a cloak from a wizard will be in the wizard's power. Use your wits and may good prevail. Alright guys, you clear on that? So we've got to roll for our stamina, our skill, and our luck. And they're done in the normal way. So, oh, the dice. Where's the dice gone, guys? Oh, hang on a sec. This is gonna mess things up here. Oh, do you know what? We'll leave that, yeah. Hammerforge is now the backing plate to the dice. But that's going to get in the way of the dice. That ain't going to work. Damn. I need to slip you guys. You guys can be here. Alright. There we go. It's crystal clear, right? He was drinking too much Paul Mass. Right, so are we big dice or are we little dice, guys? What's the score in Ballamore? Yeah? Are we going big or are we going small? It says before beginning your most challenging quest to date. It sounds like it is going to be. You must determine your strengths and weaknesses. So it is most unlikely that you will succeed at the first attempt. Guys, this could be a quick death. I will say this. This could be a quick one. Are we going big or are we going small? What are we doing? Everyone's pumped for Necromancer now, aren't you? Go big or go home, Rhymester says, and I totally agree on that. Right, so our skill we're going to roll for now. Here we go. This is our skill, guys. 1. Guys, we got a skill of 1. Oh, a skill of 7, rather, sorry. So, fuck. Not a good start, I will say that. And our stamina, 10. I mean, that's not too bad. That's 22. So we may not be strong, but we can pretty much last the night, is what that means. Hello, Yellow. How's it going? I don't know if you've been here a while or not. By the way, I'm very sorry if I've missed anybody in the chat of saying things or asking things to me or during that chat before. I was looking at it and I was slipping it in, but sorry if I've missed anybody. Really apologies. And now for our luck. There's 3 skill boxes to roll 3 times. Right, our luck is 6. Look at that. We've got a luck of 12. That's, do you know what? We really do get a luck of 12 very often in this series here. Like, we're very lucky with luck rolls, I must say. So our first test of luck is free. We don't have to worry about anything. I need to bring back up. There we go. So that is basically our skill, stamina, and luck. 7, 22, and 12. There are no other special considerations here. It does say we have 5 meals. So obviously, same, you know, 4 points to energize us. But we only have enough. It says here, you start the game with enough for 5 meals. So that's an interesting turn of events. And today's sponsorship of meals is custard creams. So if we do eat a meal, I'll be diving into the custard creams. Oh shit, this thing's kicking off again. Turn off, mate. Why do you keep turning off? Are you plugged up? Is that what it is? No, I've unplugged you. You're not plugged up, mate. So leave it be. Turn off. Go back to sleep. Thing is, I'm leaning on the printer here. I lean on it, and I keep activating it, but it won't turn off now. It's stuck in some sort of mode or something. Okay, menu, off. Oh, mate, can't turn the printer off. Just be quiet. Don't interrupt me, mate. So, right. It says equipment. It says you're not one of those mage hunters who carries around a varietal wagon load of weapons or devices, but all the same, there are some things that are essential. Your clothes are made of undyed cloth. That's good. And you have leather, and this slightly reduces the effectiveness of sorcery against you. Contact with undyed cloth also weakens mages, so rip for that. For weaponry, you choose a pistol. We've got a gun with ammunition, a box of powder, and 3 bullets. One of them is silver. 3 bullets, 1 is silver. For hand-to-hand combat, your long, basket-hilted broadsword.
Can we just become best friends? Yep.
Mate.
Much as also has just boarded the plane.
Fucking scared the shit out of me, that did. Thank you very much. Who was that? Much ado about nothing. What? Oh, it doesn't say. Thank you for that. For some reason, it hasn't recorded the name. But thank you for joining or membering up. It doesn't say what you did. Do you know what? The internet's just gone downhill, hasn't it, really? Like, it used to tell me everything. Now it's telling me nothing. And if I go to Stream Elements, it doesn't come up for at least... Oh, there it is. Much Asozo. Thank you very much for your subscription to the channel. I mean, if you're even watching the live stream, that could be for FLIGHTSIM. Sorry. Sales of leather in Titan must be incredible. Honestly, that really made me jump. So we have a weapon, a broadsword, which we actually use for combat. So we don't use magic. Or the gun. Mirrors are useful items in dealing with wizards. You have 12 mirrors in your backpack. That takes up 1 space. Why do we have 12 mirrors? Are we that vain? We have 12 mirrors. Why, surely 1's good. Like, you don't wear a mirror out by using it, do you? Why do we have 12? I don't get that. Which you keep in many pockets of your leather jerkin. Well, it's going in the backpack, because 12 mirrors. You can't slip mirrors all over your bloody pockets, man. Don't look like a glitter ball. Like, what's that all about? They're going in the backpack. They're taking up a space. It says we also have a compass needle. Not a compass, but the needle of a compass. Note down all this crap in your equipment box. You are not especially wealthy. Roll 1 die, and that is how much silver you own. 6. I mean, that's pretty all right. We got 6 silver pieces. We beautiful. Yeah. So there you go. And it says, in the course of the adventure, you may acquire a companion. Is that like a marriage or a girlfriend thing? If you do, you need to note down this person's skill, stamina, and luck stats in the you know, on your adventure sheet. So I have made separate you know, space on this adventure sheet for that. I'm gonna guess it's gonna give us those stats. We don't have to come up with them. Usually you will have access to any equipment a companion may be carrying. So I'm saying this companion also has a backpack. So now we have 14 spaces available to us instead of the usual 7. If you're separated though, you will lose whatever's in his or her backpack. Can we choose our companion, or are we kind of lumped with, you know, Lofty or whoever finds us? Can we actually? I don't know why that doesn't turn off. Clear, off, sleep, well, whatever. Anyway, so that basically is it, guys. Like, thank you for watching today's stream. Guys, we've lasted quite a long time. Yeah, we haven't even started the story, and we're 2.5 hours already in. Are we ready for this, guys? I'm going to start reading the background of this. It's a very short one, to be honest. It's only a page and a bit. It's you know, very short. The chase nears its end. Your quarry is desperate. You hope that no more innocents will be sacrificed in his attempts to escape justice. Your lungs are bursting, but you run along the earth track as fast as you can, praying that in the gloomy twilight you will not be tripped by a stray root. Then, silhouetted in the gate of the cemetery, you see your enemy, Mencius. He leans on one of the pillars for support, his cloak flapping in the night breeze like a giant black carrion bird. His head turns and he sees you, and an unearthly screech rends the air. He casts around like a concerned fox, but you have fenced him in with your circle of mirrors. Like the Matrix when they do the bullet time, basically. I think that's what that is. When was this book written? This was pre the Matrix. Do you reckon that's where they got the idea from? 1995 this book was. Wow. If you were born in 1995, you are as old as this book. You know? So what is that? 30 years ago to the date. Whoa. This is the 30th anniversary, guys, of Mage Hunter. How cool is that? Honestly, 30 years. Paul Mason. And this is a first printed edition, this is. Wow. So, yeah. Where was we? You're looking at something in the air, isn't it? Here is Sorcerer. Yeah, I read that. Silver bullet crashing to the earth. Panting hard, you cover the last 50 meters to where Mencius sprawls. He raises a contemptuous face to you. I curse you to the end of eternity, he snarls, and I will have my revenge. You have heard many such threats before, and you're still alive, so you waste no time in replying, but bind him quickly with your rope made of human hair. Where did we get this rope of human hair? Are we like Buffalo Bill? Are we like a serial killer? If you can return him to Margrave's castle before dawn, he can be destroyed on the morrow. In it, bruv. On the morrow. Fate is not with you, however. We're already going to die in this book, guys. On the return journey, your horse stumbles, and Mencius, bound and slung across the saddle, cackles in an evil way. I can't pronounce that for some reason. I wonder if they fixed the skill with your copy as all skill. Rhymster's got this book. Well done, Rhymster. Yeah, I think this hasn't been reprinted as part of Scholastic or Wizard. But yeah, if they reissued, I'd seriously doubt at this stage in the game that they had many reprints. I have a feeling we're in the realm of all these are first print runs. I don't think they went back and redid prints. You know, I could be wrong, but I seriously doubt if there was more than one print run. We're on like 57 out of 60. Out of 59. I don't think Curse of the Mummy is actually 60, is it? It's number 59. So, yeah. 2 books away from the end, guys, of the Puffin series. Gosh. It's, yeah, I seriously doubt there were multiple print runs. I don't think that would have changed anything, you know. So, surely his magic could not have caused the upset, but you are unnerved nonetheless. Your horse is lame, and you have to lead it the rest of the way. So, Rhymster's got this book. Who else has got this book, guys? Raise your hand if you've got this book. Like, who do we need to listen to in the choices department when we're playing this? You know, like, who knows what's coming up? When you arrive at the castle, it is nearly midday. Worse tidings await you. Mechner, I don't know how you pronounce. The old Margrave, who there's a lot of words in here that are just not kid-friendly. The old Margrave, who sponsored your cause and lent his considerable power to the hunt for wizards, died in the night. Your arrival is hardly noticed amid the funeral preparations, and you cannot be sure that your urgent instructions to the guards leading Mencius down to the dungeon will be followed properly. So, because the great wizard died in the middle of the night, we didn't get the red carpet treatment rolled out for us. We slipped in and nobody noticed. And now we're not even sure if someone's going to do a job properly because everyone's focused on the funeral. They're bringing in Elton John to do a song. There's going to be a procession. It's going to be lead him through the walled gates, you know, to where they're going to lay him to rest. And everyone in town's going to be there throwing rice, confetti, sobbing their heart out. You know, we might even get Bob Geldof to do a concert. Who knows? We'll see. But as a bondsman of the Margrave, you must attend his successor, the feckless young Reinhardt, at the funeral rites. After your success in bringing Mencius to justice, it promises to be a dispiriting day. I gotta say, guys, after reading that, I haven't got a foggiest clue what the story is. Like, what is our goal? I have no idea. After reading all that, that background tells you nothing. The back of the book told me more than the bloody background did. I don't know. Did I miss something, guys? Or was I just not listening to what I was saying? Rhymster's never read it? Hang on a sec, mate. You've got this book, but you've never read it? As good as new. Most pages haven't even seen light yet. Mate, what are you doing with this book? I can't believe, Rhymster, you've had this book and you've not even opened it and read it. What's going on, mate? We have to find another mirror. Is that the... Hang on, is Spellsinger, is that the actual story of this book? We have to find a mirror, you know? I mean, to be honest, I haven't got any mirrors in this room, so I can't imagine mirrors are aplenty back on Titan, back in the day. Back in the day. There is a nice picture here to set the scene, and honestly, it's making me hungry, this picture is. They're having a rice night feast there, look at that. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Lovely picture, that is. No, it's not. Okay. Right, well, that's it, guys. We're ready to start. Let me find the timer. Let the fun begin, guys. I better move that. Actually, no, I'll keep that at the top. Right. The funeral. The book starts off with a funeral. How upbeat and good is this? We're starting off on a funeral. May our stamina never fail. I gotta say, mate, I don't have high hopes for this. Because it tells you at the beginning, you know, at the book, it said, it is very unlikely that you will succeed on your first attempt. Like, that's before you've even rolled for your stats. The book is already telling you, even if you have the best stats, yeah, you ain't got a chance, mate. You know, I don't have high hopes for us seeing the end of this book at all. And I don't want to be pessimistic or you know. But realistically. Hey, there's an advert for Knights of Doom in the back there. That's pretty cool. Anyway. Funeral is held immediately. They don't mess about in this land. By tradition, the heir of the deceased wears red mourning clothes, while everyone else must wear undyed cloth. Undyed cloth. Well, what is the natural state of a cloth when it's made? What color is that? There is no hardship for you, as you always dress in undyed cloth and rough leather. You take your place in the funeral cortege and follow the coffin on its journey to the castle chapel. The rites last for several hours, and the company then returns to the great hall, where a last meal will be eaten to honor the dead Margrave. After the second course, young Reinhardt, clad in ceremonial scarlet, makes his excuses and leaves. You wish that you too could have leave this dismal feast, but courtesy forbids it. Man, we're such a snob. A bloody dismal feast for this person who's just died. They have got no vol au vents. There's no sausage rolls. You know what I mean? It's dismal. You know, give me, where's my brie? Where's my olives? You know, like, rubbish. You guys don't put on a good spread when somebody dies. Bloody bread, that's all it is. Suddenly the castle starts to shake. Earthquake, guys. There are screams, and you leap to your feet. So we must have been sitting down, swaying as the floor heaves beneath your feet. Like that. A block of masonry crashes down, and mourners dive under the stout oak table for protection. If you are willing to risk a breach of etiquette and head for the dungeons, or do you want to stay where you are, guys? What kind of choice is that? Guys, the whole place is shaking and it's going, do you want to go to the dungeons or sit where you are? Everyone's legging it for cover. Like, let me see. I wonder if the book's trying to put me in a certain location already. I say fight against it. I say don't let the writer win. Don't let him get you, guys. You know, hang true and stay true. What are we going to do? Earthquake. Can't believe I'm yawning, man. What's going on? I ain't tired. Like, I don't know why I'm yawning. Obviously not enough oxygen in me lungs. That's the reason you yawn. It's very good stretch, helps fill up the lungs with oxygen. What are we doing, guys? Run for cover. So head for the dungeons, Rhymester, yeah? Oh, that's disappeared. That's interesting. Oh, man. I'll have to be careful on that. Right, we're heading to the dungeons, guys. $87. You rush along the cold stone corridor, dodging falling stones. The vibrations intensify as you run, and a crack appears in the floor in front of you. You teeter on the brink, then leap across. Half jumping, half falling, you descend the stairs to the dungeons. Welcome to the dungeons. That's not the dungeon, mate. Wrong dungeon, my friend. Hey, I think I'm beginning to lose it. I really am. That's not the dungeon. I thought that was that should be dungeon. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, that's the. We're in the dungeon, guys. I think. Either that or we're in a very unsanitary toilet. You descend the stairs to the dungeons. A wisp of green smoke is seeping from the furthest cell, and you can hear a voice, raised in some occult incantation. The ground shakes beneath your feet, but you sprint to the cell door and crane your head to see within. Mencius stands with arms raised, his shackles lying at his feet, and the rope of human hair dangling uselessly. Is that a word? From his arms. Reinhardt, I mean, it's hard with a T on the end, stands staring to one side. He is transfixed. With the key to the shackle still in his hand, a guard cowers in the corner of the cell. Green smoke is seeping from the ground. Mencius starts to spin, and with a deafening crack, the ground splits open. The spinning sorcerer and the transfixed Reinhardt move slowly toward the yawning abyss. If you prepare your pistol to shoot, or do you rush him to try and stop him from casting a spell? Are we cocking our gun, or are we running for him, guys? What do you want to do? There is a picture as well, and it's pretty cool, I gotta say. It's a really nice picture. Really interesting. Cock. Spellsinger says, whip out your cock. Right, okay. Let me turn to the flashing section of the book. You prime your pistol as quickly as you can, but the two reach the crack before you can. Ram the bullet home. That sounds so dodgy. A wild, resonant cry of triumph from Mencius splits the air, and the pair vanish into the crack. You rush to the edge and peer down. Two figures are receding into the inky blackness. Then they disappear abruptly. From now on, you resolve you'll keep your pistol primed at all times. We're always going to be cocked, guys. Never mind the danger. We're always ready for it. Cock in hand. Basically. I don't know what to make of any of this. Everyone loves a good rammed bullet, Spellsinger says. Do they? Do they, mate? Everyone loves getting shot. Like Abraham Lincoln getting shot in the back. With the new Margrave, I personally, I prefer to shoot the bullet than receive the bullet myself. But I can't speak for everybody, you know. With the new Margrave gone, the castle is in uproar. Everyone's going mental. Reinhardt was Mechter's only child, and so no one knows which of the many distant relatives is next in line. It's mayhem. Several retainers try to take command, but we're in the dungeon. How do we know any of this is going on? And factions emerge. Ignoring the developing power struggle, you set your mind to the task of recovering Reinhardt and capturing Mencius. Helping yourself to a horse from the stables. And now, hang on. Now suddenly we're in the horse stables. I thought we were in the dungeon. I can't follow this, man. What's going on? We're not in the dungeons anymore, guys. We're in the stables. We're getting a horse out. Unless the stables are in the dungeon. Like, you ride out to the ruined monastery. Just like that, we're in a different location. This is written weird. Ride out to the ruined monastery in which Mencius has been hiding when you tracked him down. So we're on the move, guys. A thorough search uncovers a spell book written in the old language, but comprehensible to you. Note down the Book of Craft on your adventure sheet. Book of Crap. Book of Craft. We got a crafty book in hand. You have devoted your life to stamping out sorcery, but now, it seems, you must learn some. For a week you study the book until finally you discover the spell Mencius must have used to escape from the cell. According to the book, it creates a nexus, a gateway between realms of existence. It is a very dangerous spell, and moreover, it adds 10 years to the age of the wizard who casts it. Bloody hell! That's a hell of a sorcery spell. You can cast this spell, but you're going to age by 10 years? Does that mean I'm 10 years older? Or it's just my body has aged that long? Am I going to die 10 years sooner for casting this spell? Bloody hell, mate. Yeah, like a week. No, I don't think it projects you into time. I think it's just aging your body. It's not like it fast forwards time. That's a hell of a spell, that is. That's the worst spell to cast. You can only cast it like maybe 3 or 4 times in your life, and that's it. It's over. Bloody hell. Nevertheless, it seems that the only way for you to follow Mencius will be to try and cast the spell. If you make the attempt. You guys want to attempt to cast this spell? You can if you want to, but if you decide not to cast the spell, you can just wait and see if Mencius returns. We can sit here twiddling our thumbs, you know, or we can try and cast that spell. What do you want to do? Might be better just to spend a couple of years trying to escape. This is a spell for the spell singer only. Yeah, I think spell singer should make the decision here. You should make the decision, mate, because it's in your name. Are we casting? Cast that mother, my friend. Okay, it says here roll 1 die. We have to roll a die. It's all based on luck, guys, if we get this or not. Okay. 2. What does that mean? On a roll of 1 or 2, turn to this page. I don't know if that's good or not. We're about to find out. Green smoke seeps from the ground. You start to spin, but somehow your eyes remain focused on the ground at your feet. The stone splits open. A crack yawns before you. There's a picture on the other page here. I don't know if that's to do with us. You move towards it and fall headlong into darkness. Seconds pass and lengthen into minutes. Time has no meaning in the blackness. Are we dead or something? What the hell? No, we're not dead. Then light bursts into your eyes. You are standing on a mountain ledge. Mountain ledge, guys. We're on the mountains now. You feel very weary, unnaturally tired. The weight of the years seems to have settled on your shoulders. You have been aged 10 years by sorcery. So it does. It actually... We're 10 years older, guys. We're not just aged by 10 years. We're actually... It says here, reduce your initial skill by 2. We've got a skill of 5. We're so fucking dead. Reduce your skill by 2 and your initial stamina by 4. We've lost 4 points, guys. We're on 18, and that's not changing. Like, we've lost that 22 score. We've lost that 7 score. Our new stats are now 5 and 18. Honestly, that worked a treat. That is a complete rip, guys. I would say. Yourself. Lying on a ledge before you is the crumpled body of Mencius. Dead eyes stare up at you from a head on which the hair is streaked with grey. Blood oozes from a savage wound in his stomach. There's no sign of Reinhardt. He's done one. But near the body you find a key. The key to Mencius's shackles. Add it to your equipment list. I'll just add it. I'm not going to actually say it's in the backpack because a key you just slip in your pocket. You know what I mean? Before you search him, you must dispose of the mage's body. Do you want to bury it, burn it, or just throw it in the river, guys? What shall we do? I hope nobody wants a Barney with us. Honestly, if we get into a fight, we're dead. We're absolutely dead. 5 points of skill. Mate, somebody rolls a 10, we've lost 5 stamina. And that is almost just a little under half of our original stamina. Chuck that tart in the river. So we just flop him into the river then, yeah? Right. You kick the body down the slope. Water affects wizards in strange ways. Remember that, guys? Remember the rules of magery? It makes their body swell up to twice their normal size. And if they are dead, their swelling bodies dissolve rapidly, like a mogwai. Maybe a village downstream will have bad tasting water for a day or so, but it shouldn't harm them. Like, Mage dissolves in the water supply for the village, and the village going, this water tastes really funny, you know. And they're drinking the remains of a mage. I mean, this sounds like something out of the Hannibal Lecter series of books. But wait, have we got the Y-shaped stick yet? I think in this book we've got a Y-shaped stick, definitely. You know, it's all very strange in this book, I tell you. Maybe a village. Oh yeah, you watch the body as it is carried by the current. There is no sign of it swelling though. Unable to believe your own eyes, you slither down the slope. Are we a snake suddenly? And race along the steep bank. You follow the corpse for many meters, and it remains the same size. This dude was no mage. He was no wizard. That can only mean one thing. The body was not that of Mencius, or yeah, it's probably not the guy we're looking for. I don't know. I can't keep up. Your opponent has eluded you somehow. Okay. Like, were we after him? I don't know. I've had my mushrooms this morning. Oh, sitting on something now. You have no idea where you are. You damn straight, mate, I don't. When you left the Margrave's castle, the weather was late autumn, cool and wet. But here the sun burns you more fiercely than in the summer. You recognize none of the terrain, and not even the land, not even the kinds of trees and shrubs that are growing nearby. How will you track Mencius? You can either follow the river downstream, guys. You can draw a holy symbol, you know, climb to the mountain top, or spark up a fire. What do you want to do, guys? Do you want to light a fire, climb to a mountaintop, draw a holy symbol, or follow the river downstream? What do you want to do, guys? The choice is up to you. I leave it up to you, my friends. And if you feel like you might be slipping behind, refresh the stream to catch yourselves up. Somebody's having a wank. Can you hear that? It sounds like somebody's knocking one out near us. Follow the river, Yellow says. Let's go downstream. Downstream where the lights are bright. It's downstream. Everything is right. As you follow the river, your mind starts trying to catch up with what's just happened to you. You notice that even the air smells unusual, and the clamminess of your skin is unnerving. Mencius' spell has obviously propelled you far from the Margrave's domain. You try to remember everything you know about the far-flung reaches of the world. Unfortunately, geography was never your strong suit. Beyond some lurid tales of the hot Southlands, where men's skin is bright red and the earth is yellow, you are at a loss. Do you have a book of craft with you? Yes, we do. Does that mean anything? Guys, does anybody know what the hell's going on in this story? I ain't got a Scooby. Further down the river, you join up with a path, obviously well frequented, obviously. A few minutes later, you reach a town. Well, hey, human contact, hopefully. At least you assume it's a town where you come from. Towns don't have walls around them, or towers with tops shaped like onions. Shaped like onions, I love it. The path leads to a gate in the wall, guarded by swarthy fellows bearing wickedly curved swords. They look human, which reassures you a little. Do you try to enter this town, or do you want to pass it on by, guys? Follow the sound of the guy beating this bishop. Are we entering this town, or are we just gonna let it spell? Yeah, let's go up for we're up for a fight, aren't we? No, we're not up for a fight. We're gonna die if we fight. The guards look you up and down with undisguised contempt, and for a moment you think they are going to challenge you, but there's no need to worry. They gesture for you to pass through the gates. Soon you are among bustling streets full of strange, dark people. You notice that most are wearing clothes of silk, which would strain even the Margrave's purse. Their chatter is incomprehensible. If you were to get anywhere, you will have to find a means of communicating with them. Do you start looking for Mencius straight away, or do you want to spend a little time getting settled in? What shall we do? Should we get cracking to work to find whoever Mencius is, and whatever reason we've got to find him? Or shall we just have a little chill sesh, have a drink, you know? We must not fight ever. Exactly, mate. I 100% agree with you there. We should offer sexual favors at any opportunity. I come in peace, man, not anger. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Brothel. We're in a brothel, are we? Chill and have a drink. Okay, let's have a little time getting settled in. Are we in a brothel? There's a picture here. It looks like Ian Livingstone with a beard. Or me. Like, either one, basically. Hi. Welcome to the Brothel Tavern. Tonight, you shall be drinking my fine wine, sampling my many treats. Welcome. I mean, unfortunately, we're still outside, to be honest. Let's get inside, shall we? I don't know. There, let's get inside. There must be a tavern of some kind round here, but can you recognize it? In your land, taverns advertise their trade with signs, often pictures of a pitcher brimful of beer. But there's no such signs here, however. Finally, you see a man staggering out of an ornate stone building, so we're actually still outside, with an unmistakable swagger of drunkenness. You hurry in to view the strangest bar scene you've ever beheld. The customers are seated on rugs, that's not weird, being served by scantily clad men and women. I mean, we've walked into a titty bar. It's Hooters, basically, isn't it? They are drinking their brew from cut glass, definitely a stripper joint. As you enter, their eyes all turn to you and the room grows hushed. Hi! For a moment, panic grips you, but then the conversation resumes. You sigh in relief, remembering countless similar experiences that you've seen in so many films, in country taverns of your homeland as well. You take a seat and are quickly befriended by a huge bearded local, Ian Livingston. He seems unworried at your lack of language ability and starts to teach you on some of the basic words, clicking his fingers, yo, yo, at frequent intervals to replenish both his glass and the one he provides for you. 'Cause is he swigging both? It's not beer, by the way, but it is sweet and light wine, which does wonders for your exhaustion. But what is your plan now, guys? If you have a companion, we don't have a companion. We never were offered a companion. Or it says here, if you have a companion or a bullet wound and you wish to visit a doctor. Have we missed a lot of the story, guys? I'm getting that feeling. If you have a Saka claw, if you want, so we can't do any of that. If you want to concentrate on acquiring some knowledge of language, we can do that. Whatever that means. If food is your main need, well, we're topped out with stamina, so there's no need for food. Or you may prefer to buy some other essential supplies. So we can go buy some supplies with our 5 silver pieces, sorry. Or we could go get some food, which we don't need. Or we can go and acquire some knowledge. What shall we do, guys? This is a strange one, gotta say. Very, very weird. It says here, Fighting Fantasy, the world's most popular adventure gamebook series. I mean, to be honest, it's the only gamebook series that I ever knew as a kid. I never knew any other one. So, let's learn a second language. What do you want to learn? French, Italian, German? They're the usual suspects. I say we try and learn Drunkenese. So when you have a drink, you still understand what the hell they're saying. Your drinking companion is eager to teach you his language, and you learn that his name is Al-Bakbuk. Al-Bakbuk. So he's basically a kind of like Middle Eastern dude. And he displays a keen interest in conversing. When the time comes to leave the tavern, Al-Bakbuk offers you the hospitality of his home. Come back to my house. You can meet my family. We'll make you feel very nicely at home. Over the next few days, you slowly acquire a limited vocabulary and the ability to string a few words together like, do you like that, sir? Would you like your slippers? You know, what do you want for dinner? We can say that. He's taught us that. So write down basic Cal on your adventure sheet. Basic Cal. We know basic Cal, guys. So you can put that on your CV, guys, if you want. Basic Cal. Al Bakbuk, but it's not backback, it's backbuck. Backbuck. Al Bakbuk is quite lavish with his generosity, but you know that you will have to bid him farewell sooner or later. Do you want to leave without offering him a gift? Or do you want to offer him some money? Or you can offer him a piece of jewelry, which we don't actually have a piece of jewelry, so we can't offer him any jewelry. So we can either offer him money, a gift, or just leg it without offering anything. So he's let us have his home, his wife, his whatever, and offer Al Bakbuk. Man, you got an obsession with this shit, yeah. So we can either repay his hospitality by giving him something that means something to us, like money, I guess. Or it says we can just leave without even offering him a gift. Shall we do a runner, or see, mate, I've only got 5 silver pieces, you know. I have got something worth of value to me. What can you do with that? You know. This is mental. What shall we do, guys? Shall we run or offer him money? That's the only two things we can do. This game is either going to strip us of our money or strip us of our dignity. One of the two. I don't know why, but I feel like I need to go to sleep for some reason. Like, feeling a bit tired. I don't know why. Done fuck all today. In terms of energy. Bloody hell. Run spells use. So we're just gonna basically leg it. Okay. So you go, our back book. What's that over there? And then when he looks, we run. Our back book waves you goodbye like that. See ya. Goodbye. Suggesting that if you were ever in Calamere, you should seek out his brother, the storyteller, Al Fuck. Al Fuck. And in fact, surely his brother is going to be out. He's going to have the his back buck is not his last name. Then I take it. Al Fakic. As a parting gift, he gives you a cloth hat. Note down your turban in your adventure sheet. I just can't believe we've just been given a turban, guys. I mean, I can't put it on in the backpack. Surely we're wearing the bloody thing. It's not going in our backpack, is it? It's going on our head. This is such a bizarre book, man. So what you want to do now, guys? I misheard that as something quite rude. What, turban? Bourbon? It's not rude. I don't know what you mean, mate. What do you want to do, guys? Do you want to go shopping? You want to do a little bit of light shopping in the town? Or we can try and pick up the trail of Mystery Man, Menstrual. Or we can head for the city of Calamere. The guy's name? Oh, Mr. Fuck. Yeah. You didn't mishear it, mate. I said it. Unless you're thinking of something even worse than that. What shall we do, guys? Calamere! Or try and pick up the trail of the whole point we're doing the book. Or, let's go shopping! Let's go pick out a nice dress and some jewelry for ourselves, shall we? Let's shop for more turbans. Okay, we're going shopping, guys. Let's go. You get some jewels and you get some pearls. The market contains many things which may be of use to you. However, prices here are outrageous. You may buy items only if you've got the money. If you don't, well, you can't buy it. If you have some jewelry, which we don't have, so no point in even reading that bit. Okay, what's there to buy? Right, well, we've only got 6 gold pieces, and most of this shit costs 5 or more gold pieces. There's a sword for 40 gold pieces. Are we meant to pick up more money along the way? You can buy what you can. You know. So we can pick up a pack of 12 candles for 1 silver piece. That's pretty good. We can pick up a fine silk cloak for 8. No, we can't pick up. I'm only going to read what we can afford, by the way. There's loads in this list, but half of it we can't afford. So we can afford 12 candles. We can also afford undyed clothing, although we're already wearing that. So you can also afford a dagger. That's 1 gold piece. You can afford gloves made of leather. They're 4 gold pieces. Hang on, wait, no. Shit. Hang on, there's gold pieces here. Sorry. We've got 6 silver pieces. The only thing we can afford is more meals, more mirrors, or candles. That is it. They're the only 3 items, because everything else is made up of gold pieces. So, you guys, we have 6 silver pieces. You can either buy more meals. They're 5 silver pieces each, so that's 1 meal we can buy. or we can buy a small mirror to add to our 12 mirrors we already have in our backpack. They're 5 silver pieces a piece, or a pack of 12 candles for 1 silver piece. What do you want to do here? Can we get 4 candles? 4 handles. 4 handles. I love that. Nice one, Ram. Yeah, shopping depends on the money, but 6 silver pieces, mate. Sweet FA, isn't it? Basically. We got no money, honey. Without the money, you don't get the honey. More mirrors. Kudos to those who look good on the battlefield. Gotta look good whenever you're fighting those soldiers. So, are we buying something, guys, or are we just gonna leave? It says here, you can continue your search for what? What are we searching for? We're in the markets doing our shopping. You can buy candles, 12 pack for 1 silver piece, a small mirror for 5 silver pieces, or 1 meal for 5 silver pieces. No, you want to leave it? Okay, the shop sucks. They don't accept silver piece, like they all have gold piece items. So that was a waste of time. That's how it was written. How do you plan to track the wizard, guys? You can draw a holy symbol. You can make inquiries in the town. Yo, have you seen a wizard anywhere, mate? Or you can train a dog. You train a dog. Come here, lassie. I can train you to sniff out the wizard. So, draw a holy circle, make inquiries in the town, or train a dog. Like the Pavlo way, you know? We ain't got any treats, but that's a random one, that is. Train a sniff a dog immediately. That's what Spellsinger says, train a dog. Alright, we're going to go with that then. We're going to go, mate, with that. I want to see what the hell happens. We've got to go to obedience school with our dog. First, you must acquire a dog, obviously. Well, why would you give us the option if we haven't even got a dog with us? In the marketplace, in the middle of town, you find a bustling maze of stalls, and a short search reveals. So we're in the middle of... we're in the middle of somewhere, mate. This book's eluding me completely. A short search reveals an animal trainer with a suitable hound for sale. Despite your shortcomings when it comes to language, it's quite easy to communicate that you want the dog. Gimme, gimme. Woof, woof. The merchant in charge of the stall indicates that he requires 5 gold pieces for the animal. Fucking, we only have silver pieces. Waste of time. It's a fortune, more than 100 times the value of the hound. 5 gold pieces is 100 times more than that dog is worth. Oh, I think I've been smoking something here, to be honest. Suggest the dog's name be Rufus Purple Helmet III. Imagine that. Hi, I'm Rufus Purple Helmet. So is my dad. So is my granddad. Like, so we don't have the money. So we can't pay. So that's I think the end of that option. Doesn't lead anywhere. The stall holder quickly lowers the price to 2 gold pieces. Mate, you could lower it to 1 gold piece. We've only got silver pieces on us, mate. You can't pay. You must find a different way of tracking Mencius. Shall we go make inquiries in the town or draw some holy symbols, guys? The dog's name's Cujo, yeah. He's a ruffian. Should we, okay, so he says no. Shall we start drawing you know, or go chat to some people and just rock up to them and say, mate, can you help me? I'm looking for a wizard. You know, let's ask the village idiot. More bloody sense out of him than this book will. By the way, if Paul Mason, you're watching, because guys, by the way, the illustrator of the last book we read actually contacted me on YouTube. So, and was like, thanks for, you know, enjoying the book and that. And it's like, no, thank you for the illustrations, mate. How cool was that? Paul Mason, if you're watching, mate, you've done a great job here. We're all having just a fun laugh, not at you or your work, but we're enjoying the book. That's all that is, really. Like, please don't sue me. You know, not like you would sue somebody. You know. But he says it right there. Right, where are we? Yeah, are we going to make, what we do? Ask the village idiot. That was it. Inquiries in the town. That's what that translates to. I'm totally not with it today, guys. The book is warping my reality. You need a short break, mate. Should we all take a short break? Right, so now it's saying, do you have a wizard's pouch with the and the basic cal is written on your... We don't have a wizard's pouch, but we have basic cal. So it says here, if you don't have the pouch but do have the cal, there's a specific reference for that. I'm praying for death, to be honest, now, in order for, you know, Spellsinger to get a break. Like, with much sign language and the limited expressions at your disposal, so basically monging it, you manage to convey that you're trying to find a sorcerer. You strike lucky quite quickly. A white-bearded old man nods in sympathy. You learn that the man you seek is outside town, and the white beard offers to guide you there. It sounds sus. On the journey, you try to make... So we're already on the journey. That's it, man. That was quick. Literally within a sentence, we're now on the journey. On the journey, you try to make conversation with the old man, but you constantly come up against the barrier of language, because English is not our friend, it seems. After walking into the hills for a couple of hours, you arrive at a sheltered valley. The Whitebeard calls out, Gazim, and says something to you that you can't quite understand. I hope it's not, don't go there. If he said that and we can't understand that, bloody hell. Except that it includes the word sorcerer. So he mumbles something, chasm and sorcerer, and that's all we understand. From a cave opening comes another odd old man, this one wearing the same strange cloth hat that you had noticed on several of the townsfolk. After a short conversation with him, your guide bids you farewell and turns to make his way out of the valley. You turn, in bemusement, to the hat-wearing cave dweller. So we've just been passed off to somebody else. Oi, this guy wants to speak to Rennie or something. Make sure he gets there. He's on the list. The man, who must be some kind of hermit, ushers you a little way into his cave. Go into my cave. He asks if he can help you. So we're in a cave now. Got to keep up with the book, man. It's so fast and you're all over the place. He asks if he can help you. You say, yeah, I'm looking for a sorcerer. Aren't we all looking for sorcerers? And he says, I am a sorcerer. Do you wish to attack him straight away? The fuck? Or turn to the paragraph which contains your method of attack. I've no idea what the book is talking about, so we can't do that. Strike him with a rapier? The fuck's a rapier? Guys, seriously, the book says strike him with a rapier. I don't know if you can read that. A rapier. The camera is so shit. Strike him with a rape. Strike him with a broadsword. Urge Kurt, whoever the fuck that is, to attack him. Who's Kurt? I don't think Kurt. I think Kurt's the companion we don't have, so we can't use that. Bind him with rope of human hair. These are odd ones. Or shoot him with a pistol. So basically, rapier is a knife-like weapon. Oh, okay. Sorry, mate. So we can either shoot him with a pistol, bind him with rope of human hair. We can strike him with a broadsword. We can strike him with a rapier. Or we don't have to attack him at all. That is another option. Like in small writing at the bottom. I think it's assuming we're just going to attack him. Kurt is the dog. Is he? We have a dog with us now. Where did the dog come from? Sorry, I didn't realize we had a dog. We didn't buy the dog. Remember? We couldn't afford it. Kurt's the dog. There's fucking books all over the place. What Andy said. Like a pointed one. Yeah. So do we, first off, do we want to attack him or not? I think that's the first sort of, you know, we're in a cave. He's just said, I'm a sorcerer, after letting us in, hospitality and all that. So should we attack him because he's a sorcerer? Or shall we do something else? And then if the word is to attack, how should we attack? I feel like this is a make or break decision here. I think it'd be unwise to attack. I think so too, mate. With a skill of 5, we ain't going to fare well. I mean, it's a sorcerer. He knows a few spells, surely. I think, though, it would be unwise, but kind of fun to attack in the most ridiculous way. Bind him with rope of human hair, which I don't think we have human hair. So would it allow us to do that even if we didn't have it? IIRC. I don't know what that means, mate. The later books were more rushed, hence why this one's a bit mad. Quick, get it out! I haven't read it yet. I don't care. Just get it out. We're desperate for a book. The next one after this is, I don't know actually. The next one after this is Revenge of the Vampire. Guys, in 2 weeks' time, it's Revenge of the Vampire. You remember that one? Back to Rhinold Castle. Hang on, it said Rhinold in this. Is this linked to the vampire one? I think they were rushing it at the end, yeah. So are we attacking him or not attacking him, guys? I need somebody to step forward, lay their life on the line. I am absolutely starving. I'm looking at these biscuits and they're talking to me. They're saying, eat me. I'm like, yeah, but it's opening it up, you know? All right, we have human hair rope. Do we? You've got nothing in the backpack. Oh, we did say, I think we had some human hair. Oh, yeah, that was it. We're Buffalo Bill. So, is that what you want to do? Bind him with rope of human hair? Not attack. Yeah. So, not to attack him. Okay. Let's not attack. The man pauses for a second, wrinkles his nose. Sorry, a little bit of coke left on it from last night. And peers at you suspiciously. He asks you something. He asks you something. Well, what does he ask? Why don't you say, instead of saying he asks you something, you just put down what he asks. He asks you something you can't quite understand. Though it also includes the word Mencius. Well, then we did understand. He knows something. After a long explanation, mainly using sign language, he gets you to understand that he can teach you his language properly if you wish. Guys, we're just going around learning shit in this book. What an adventure! We've learned some Owlback, kill whatever language. Now we can learn some sign language, guys, in this book. You realize he must be talking about some sort of magic spell. Do you agree to this, or instead demand that he tell you where Mencius is? Do we make demands, or do we go along with this bullshit, guys? What should we do? I'm having a biscuit, I don't care. Just absolutely starving. Today was not well planned, I will say this now. I'll be honest, right, and I feel so bad for saying this. I totally forgot that I arranged a meeting with somebody. I had it all arranged, like, you know, and then totally forgot. And it was only when I, by happen chance, happened to share the stream out in my Discord, that I then saw them sitting in the channel, and I thought, oh, shit, of course, yeah, well, I'm meeting with them. Shit, oh my God. Can't believe it. I've had such a busy week, guys, honestly. Octopus fingers I am. Let's learn his language. I can't even open these. I'm slowly dementing myself. Struggling to open a pack of custard creams. That's what life has come to now. Oh, there we go. They make it so hard to get these things out. Not easy, these. Fucking give it to me. You gotta earn it, Pestridge. You don't get it for free. There we go. Bloody hell. Sorry, guys. I know we haven't eaten a meal, but I am actually starving, man. I need a little bump. Right. I haven't had custard creams in such a long time. Yeah, he can teach us his language. Go on, mate. I'm your pupil today. Have I got to sit a test at the end, an exam? Is it multiple choice? The wizard opens a large book and starts to chant. Your eyelids begin to feel like lead weights. What? My eyelids? And you drift into slumber. You awaken to find yourself lying on a comfortable bed. With a sudden shock, you realize you can now understand the local language. Now write down Cal on your adventure sheet, and if you already have basic Cal, erase the word basic. So now we know Cal. We've progressed in our language. We're on Cal now. We awaken with no trousers on. The wizard notices that you have woken up and gives you your pants back and comes over to you. Do you understand now? He asks. You say, yeah. I understand that you chanted, I passed out, and now I've woken up in your bed. That's what I understand, mate. What the hell is going on here? Oh, by the way, it says your unusual host. My name is Kazim, the unworthy. The unworthy, mate. Anything that is within my power to help you in your mission, I'll do it. Do you have a shackles key? No. Do you have a Shuka scar? No. We got nothing, mate. I feel like we've missed half this book. What decision where did it go wrong? Yes, Reinhard pipes up. What? There's something you must do for me. Sorry, his name's Reinhardt? I thought he was just some mad wizard man. Have I missed something here? If the box mark switch on your adventure sheet is ticked, no, because we haven't got a companion. Otherwise, turn to this page. Mate, this is getting a bit... I have a feeling the text ain't lining up here. Put me back in my own body, he demands. What? I'm sick of being this old man in the old man's shell, and my stomach hurts all the time. What the fuck is going on? You have my sympathy, Chasm replies, and I will attend your inquiry straight away. However, body switch is beyond my power to reverse. What body switch? I suspect that it is inherently unstable, so an opportunity should arise in good time. We've switched nothing, mate. What the fuck? Reinhardt lets out an exasperated ha and looks away. Chasm takes a tiny jar of powder out of a small pouch as a bump himself, recites a short chant, and places his hand on Reinhardt's stomach. Reinhardt a woman or something? Is she pregnant? Reinhardt drifts off to sleep. In the companion box of your adventure sheet, erase any current entries. We haven't got any. We never picked up a companion. And we told you that in the last sentence. You're still persisting with this bloody companion piece. Right. If you've got a... whatever. I have a feeling that we should have picked up a companion by now. The book was expecting it. This is why you plan out your stories before you write them. So this kind of situation does not present itself with... Hang on a second. Oh my god. Guys, I just realised something. What does my voice sound like? Oh, it's normal. Because I forgot to check. Right, I've been editing some. So I had somebody asked me to edit, or well, not edit. Sorry, somebody asked me to restore a cassette tape, and I had to change all my sound settings on my PC to studio quality, mastering, and I forgot to change the recording side back. So my voice, my sound on my PC is at like the highest studio quality reference, although OBS is still set to 44 kilohertz. And I've just realized I forgot to change it back. Oops. Which really should affect the way the sound's coming through, because OBS ain't lined up with it. Yeah, it's still set to 192,000 kilohertz. I'll have to do that after this stream. Can't do it while on stream, but anyway. So where the hell? I've completely... Hang on a sec. I've got to go back. I've completely forgotten what page now. Hang on. Won't take a second, guys. Oh, maybe it will because of... Just give me a second, guys. If you need a toilet, now's the time. Ah, just lost the whole page now. Completely lost where we are now. Oh my god. Seriously, guys, if you need the toilet, you can go now. I'm gonna be at least 5 minutes trying to find this shit. I can't believe I was on the page. I turned the book upside down, and I'm sure, but none of them actually. When I came back, when I came back, like I went somewhere. It was literally a matter of seconds. I can't believe that I bloody. Right, here we go. That's not even the same. So this was the page that I left it on, but none of these entries make sense to what we came from. Sure, it said that number, but it says here you follow the river. Like, what? I thought we were in some bloody... talking to some bloody dude in a cave. Sorry guys, I'm so sorry, man. How did I lose focus on... how did I not remember the page? Like, seriously, I don't know what's going on. This is a subtle... I don't even know where to go and look to find my way back. Completely, like... cool picture, though. See that? I remember this picture, but that was like almost at the beginning. Like, surely not. There's none of these paragraphs. What was the last picture? Oh, here we go. Striking with a rapier. No, we chose not... okay, I'm getting back on track here. This is now. Yeah, we did that one. And then it says, we realised talking some sort of magic spell. Yeah, we agreed to learn his language. That's correct. Yep. I've got it now, guys. Here we go. Do you understand now? Yep, perfectly. Yep. Okay. By the way, I'm Kasim. We didn't have any of that, so okay, that one. Here we go. Otherwise, yep, it was otherwise we turned to. Yep, I remember that. It's all coming back to me now. It's all coming back to me. And then there we go. That was the page number. That one, which wasn't even what was saved when I flipped the book upside down. It must have accidentally flipped over to the next page when I turned the book upside down. Yeah, because none of these makes it. Yeah, right, okay. I can help you in several different ways, says Kazim. We're back on track, guys. First, I can give you some protection from his magic, and he hands you an amulet with a chain to go around your neck. We're picking up so much crap that's not going in our backpack. Take your time, I've got the mirror to look at. Let's fall on our sword! Yellow, mate. Let's just fall on our sword. Mate, you're gonna kill me, mate. He hands you an amulet. He says, I don't guarantee that it will protect you completely, but it should help against a direct attack. Secondly, I can advise you to be careful, because our world is so rich in magic and bullshit. Mencius's power is growing daily. He will no doubt already have gained some knowledge of Calamir. Finally, he says, unfurling a short, luridly patterned carpet, I can get you to Calamir quickly and secretly. We fly in 30 minutes. Right, it says here, turn to this page if you have any of the following noted down on your adventure sheet. Turban, yes. Vizier's robe, no. Al-Bakbuk's glass, no. Or Kurt, no. We only have a turban. Guys, I feel like we should have collected a lot more shit on this adventure. We can't get on the magic carpet because we don't have the stuff it wants us to have. Sorry, you can't get in my car right now because you haven't got enough decent shit on you. Is basically what they're saying. Kazim's comment about flying remains a mystery for a while, but he does point out that Mencius has been in Calamir for a few hours at most. So you will arrive hard on the villain's heels. Note down early on your adventure sheet. Mate, this page is filled with words that I just don't know what they mean. It looks like I'm graffitiing all over this place. After you've rested a while longer, Kazim picks up the carpet and escorts you out of the cave into the valley. Do you have a shackles key? We've already asked us this about the shackles key. No, we don't have the shackles key. Do you have this? Do you have that? Fuck. Getting knackered here, man. Take your time. Reinhardt complains when Kazim lays the carpet on the ground and tells him to get on with it. Yeah. It's true that you two feel a little foolish, but if you don't trust Kazim a little, you won't be able to get anywhere. Finally, you're all on the carpet, sitting down. With barely a jolt, so we do get on the carpet. We still get on the carpet, even though we couldn't get on the carpet because we didn't have the stuff. We're now on the carpet. The carpet floats up into the air. We're out of the dungeon, I guess. We're in the air, guys. Reinhardt lets out a shriek of fear, but without giving him a chance to speak, Kazim says, "To Calamir!" And you shoot off with the speed of a diving falcon, the air buffeting your face and making your scalp prickle. Unbelievable. So basically, all that faff about not being able to get on the carpet magic ride because we didn't have enough stuff was a waste of time because it put us on anyway. Guys, I'm really sorry, but I'm beginning to lose the will with this book. What's your thoughts, guys? We've already lost a couple of people due to the fact that they live in Australia and it's way too late for them. Does anybody object to pausing this book here and coming back to it next week? Let me see if I have to... the 5th of October. As opposed to coming back on the 12th of October. Does anybody object to that? I think I'm all right for the 5th. Got nothing in me diary. We need to know, like, we can either come back next week instead of 2 weeks time and finish this book off. We'll pause it because my mind's a bit frazzled, or we can continue and we will finish it like until we die in this sitting. So the choice is up to you guys. I leave it in your hands. Talk amongst yourselves. Because right now we're on a magic carpet ride. We're doing a bloody Aladdin trick with what's her name? You know. Forgot her. Oh yeah, that was it. Right now, this is us right now.
A whole new world, a whole new life for you and me.
That's it. That's enough. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Now tell me, princess, what do you make of this? Sounds okay, it's fine. So you guys are okay with pausing the adventure here after an hour and 10 minutes? Is that all it's been? Fucking hell. An hour and 10. Have daylight savings time starting next week. What does your... Oh, Rhymester, so you got daylight savings starting next week. So what time is it for you that I start on Sunday? I start 10 a.m. UK time. What time is it in Australia, guys? Please. Oh. Cold Ballistics back in the chat. How's it going, mate? You're coming back just as we're going to end it. We're going to pause it for only 7 days. It's 10:45. That don't make sense. Where does the extra 45 minutes come from, mate? Oh, I suppose if you're different sides of Australia. Yeah. So, 11 a.m. in the Netherlands. What? Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know why I thought suddenly that was weird. Because you're an hour ahead. So that makes sense. So it's 10:45 at night when it's 10 a.m. Hey, that's... And what, Rhymester, does it go forward for you or back, did you say? So is it going to be like 11 quarter to midnight or is it going to be 9:45? You're just listening and cleaning the house. Oh, I got you, mate. No worries. Rhymester's going to bed. Yeah, Rhymester's like, keep my eyes open on this one. Neither can I, mate. And it's only, what time is it here for me? It's only 1:45. Bloody hell. The thing is, though, I've got loads of moving shit to do. I've got to rewire bloody something. So I'm looking forward to that. Knackered? I'll be going to bed, mate. I'll be jumping in bed after this. Have a little cat nap. Hey, bloody old man I am. I don't get it because I don't feel it. And I haven't really done much today to tire myself out. So I don't really understand why I feel so tired. I think I'm in a Mage Hunter days. So we start at 7 p.m. now. When we change and you change, we start at... Oh, man, I don't know what you mean in here. So for right now, it's 7 p.m., which... You told me it was 10:45 p.m., mate. When you start, I think Rhymester, you're a little bit behind, mate, from what I'm saying. And I took the 10:45 as what I had asked you. I have a feeling you were asking that was a 10:45 to another question, maybe. I don't know. Meow. It's 20. Wait, what? Meow. Now it's okay. Yeah. So. That's where that confusion came in. You were telling me your time now, not the time that I can't even be bothered, mate. I can't be bothered. Right, so it's going to become 9 p.m. for you when we start. That's fine, mate, isn't it? That's okay, isn't it? 10 a.m., mate, for us. It's not going to change in the UK. It's just going to become 9 p.m. for you guys in Australia. Is everybody happy with that? I mean, it's a bit late to start something, isn't it? 9 p.m. But I can't keep changing it earlier and earlier. It was originally meant to be noon UK because that's nice and easy to remember. That's why. That's the only reason it was noon in the UK. Because it's easy to remember. You don't have to remember shit. But obviously, yeah, we changed it because, that sounds cool. You're fine with that? Right. Cold ballistics in England. Well, it's all good for us in England. It's either going to be 10 a.m., noon, 9 a.m. It's all the same. Netherlands, exactly the same, like only an hour difference. It makes no real difference. I have marked the page. We're on a magic carpet ride. It says the journey lasts but a few minutes, but for us it's going to take a week. And next Sunday, guys, at 10 a.m. UK time, we'll be coming back to this book. Part 2 of Mage Hunter is what I was meant to say. It came out page 2, almost. Right, so we lasted an hour and 10 minutes on that. Thing is, if I kill the time, I'll make sure that says an hour and 10 when we start again. I'll time it just right. Am I from London? No, I'm from Liverpool. I'm up north on the coast. Liverpool. You just came back from the Netherlands yesterday, Andrew. No way. What was you doing in the Netherlands, mate? Never mind that. What was happening in the Netherlands? That was a poor joke. I don't know. That's how tired I am. The jokes are shit. I mean, they're always shit, but they're just even more shit when I'm tired. And you can tell when I'm getting tired because I start babbling. I start talking fast and fast. It's so weird. My body, it reacts differently to exhaustion than most people do. Most people start shutting down when they're exhausted, but I start getting hyper. And that's a sign when you know I'm tired. When it's hyper and hyper. Anyway. Oh, that hurt my neck. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna start the countdown. In fact, there is gonna be no countdown, guys. I'm just gonna because it ain't over. We haven't finished. The countdown only happens when we finish. So I'm just gonna literally in a minute, I'm gonna cut the stream, end it, because I want it to pick back up again, and the next week on the 5th of October when we go live. I might not even do a 10-minute countdown. I might just come back straight in and we can have a little chat first. So be on the nose if you want to, Guys, thank you so much for, sticking with this one. And I'm sure this is a very fine book, and it's probably I'm not in the right headspace. Another reason why I don't want to actually do it when I'm not mentally with it, But we're going to come back to this, and maybe it'll have a different, fresh feel to it and be clearer in what we have to do. But thank you so much. I so much appreciate you guys coming in. And, I'll see you all next week. Yeah? The 5th. I need a wee, so I'll do the stream when I come back off the toilet. And it'll be in the Discord for everybody. Guys, take care. Mwah! Love you all. Bye-bye.